presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Good evening and welcome to the Oklahoma Sports Network, where we are live from Tulsa tonight, where the Del City Eagles will take on the Nathan Hale Tulsa Hale Rangers. This is another district matchup for Del City. They won last week 79-0 over Tulsa Memorial, and then the thrilling victory the week before that over Collinsville. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. This is my name is Colton Fleetwood. Alongside him, I have Gordy Jones. He's on the field with Coach Robert Jones. We're going to send it down to him momentarily here. I want to remind you the countdown to kickoff is brought to you by Precision Nutrition of Del City. For all your nutrition needs in one shake or tea, come to Precision Nutrition at 4603 Southeast 29th Street in Del City. Now I'm going to go ahead and send it down to Gordy Jones. He's with head coach Robert Jones.
All right, Gordy Jones from OSN here with the great Coach Robert Jones. Coach, thank you for your time today.
Yes, sir.
All right, first question, Coach. How are you feeling, and anything that you want to go into this game specifically working on?
No, I'm feeling good. It's a district game, and I tell our kids we can't wait to get ready for playoff time or in big district games until we get there. We got to work on things we have to do now. And it's kind of difficult, you know. We had that game last week that was 79-0. A lot of people like, hey, you blew them out, great game. I saw a lot of mistakes and things that we need to fix if we're going to be the team that we want to be progressing towards the season. But I'm excited to be in another district game. It's an opportunity that we can come out here and show our dominance. I think that we need to be physical on the offensive line and defensive line. We really have to start improving those areas. And then also with Sincere Overton, this is his third game. Now he should be comfortable. He has multiple weeks of being a starter, not only in the games but in practice. So we should see a sequence where he's flowing naturally. So I'm excited to see that as well.
So excited to see it.
Yes, sir.
Next question, Coach. We talked about specifics as far as this matchup goes. Is there any message that you want to carry into today's game?
Well, first of all, they got a great quarterback. He's very elusive. He has a lot of speed. He has a lot of athleticism. So if we don't control the perimeter and we contain him outside, he can make plays happen. Then they have some skilled receivers offensively that I told our kids all week, like, hey, if they were over here, they could play for us. So that shows you the kind of skill talent they have. So anytime you come into a football game where the media, you listen to your parents or community or wherever, hey, you're going to blow these guys out. You have to be mature and know that, hey, we're not playing for each game. We're playing for ourselves on improving on things that we need to prove every week if we're going to be a championship team. And that's being committed, cut out the penalties, no turnover, and just being physically dominant. Right. If we want to win in the playoffs, we want to win in the later part of this district, we got a lot of tough teams coming up. We got to be physical on the offensive and defensive line. And I'm excited to see if our kids can do that.
I understand.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned Sincere Overton, and the thing I wanted to ask you, was there anything you want to focus on?
They're going to crowd the line. They put a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage, and they're going to dare us to throw the ball. They're going to say, hey, you got to beat us to throw the ball. That's what they showed on film. So we're going to be able to see his skill set throwing the ball. But obviously, as well, we're going to see him run the ball on the perimeter. I feel like against Collinsville, he had a lot of plays that he could have got on the perimeter that he was kind of antsy because he hadn't played yet, and he was cutting it up. And, you know, he didn't get on the perimeter and use his speed on the outside. So today's a great opportunity for him to show that. You know, he's getting comfortable, he's getting in the field, and his body language as well. He needs to be the leader for our team. He's the quarterback. So getting on the perimeter, showing that you can throw against a tight defense that's crowding the line to whoever to stop in Blackwood, our running game is for the first 4 games, we really have pounded and grounded, so everybody knew that, so they want to crowd the line of scrimmage. So now we got to show with sincerity that we could be balanced, that if you want to crowd the line of scrimmage, we'll be able to throw it, and that should make those linebackers hesitant, then we should be able to run the ball.
Yeah, hey.
Yes, sir.
Enough said. I got, one last question. I just want to get in your head just a little bit, Coach. One of my favorite parts is watching the highlight film, but watching the highlight film, one of my favorite parts is the music. Yeah. Tell me, Coach Jones, what specific music do you listen to kind of get you in the mood and ready for a game like this?
Well, honestly, man, it's a lot of different style of music I listen to. Obviously, when you show up to the stadium, they got the rap music. I'm not a guy that's going to listen to rap music every day.
Right.
When you got the rap music playing in the stadium and you're in that mode and you're in that feeling, you've been working with your teammates, your coaches all week, it kind of gets you in that mode. But, man, I'm an old school kind of person. Tupac, I listen to some heavy metal. This is the feeling I'm feeling for that day. But when we step out on the field and we're in this environment, I'm doing an interview with you, you hear the music, you see the other team warming up. The music is just one part of it. It's just the atmosphere of football and being in that moment.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Coach, I appreciate the time. Good luck on tonight's game.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro.
Thank you. Back to you guys, Coach.
All right, Gordy, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Sorry about all the noise, folks. We got loud music like they're talking about, which was perfect. The perfect question right there because of how loud the music has been. We are set up outside tonight as well. This is the first time this season we've been set up outside, and wouldn't you know it, rain's moving into the area. There's no rain in the whole state of Oklahoma, but we're going to get rain right here where we are because we're set up outside. So that's the way things work. We're going to be scrambling possibly once this rain comes. Hopefully it breaks up on us, but just so you're aware if there is any issues. Also want to mention last week we had a lot of issues. I heard all your messages, and again, we apologize for what happened last week. It was actually beyond our control. And so that's why we were unable to get a good broadcast for you. And so we do apologize for that. I know that was frustrating being in Tulsa. Folks were counting on it to watch their kiddos play or family members play, whatever the case may be. And we couldn't come through for you. So we apologize on that. And, it's funny. Jacoby, well, you'll probably laugh at this, but the other day I was watching, I'm a Texas guy. So I was trying to watch one of the Texas games on ESPN Plus, and ESPN Plus wasn't working. And I was so mad. I was like, man, I'm going to email ESPN. I'm going to rip on them. And wouldn't you know it, here we are, and it's me that's getting some of those messages. So it's funny how the tables turn real quick. So anyway, but I just wanted to make sure and comment on that. We are on the countdown to kickoff, folks. It's brought to you by Precision Nutrition of Del City. For all your nutrition needs, remember, go to Precision Nutrition at 4603 Southeast 29th Street in Del City. I'll tell you, man, those shakes and teas are delicious. They can make you a cookies and cream shake that will taste pretty darn close to it, and it's healthy. That's pretty hard to find. So go check them out at Precision Nutrition. 20 minutes till kickoff. It's Del City versus Tulsa Hale, live from Tulsa on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us. This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it. Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This is why you need our number in your phone.
This could be you! If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Colton Fleetwood and Gordy Jones with you here on the Countdown to Kickoff, brought to you by Precision Nutrition of Del City. Gordy, let's get to our keys to the game tonight. And remember, our keys to the game are always brought to you by Keyline Mag. The stars of tonight's matchups aren't just winning on the field, they're hitting the headlines too. Keyline Mag will be featuring these amazing athletes, such as our player of the game last week, Tavion Robinson. Tavion, a sophomore, had a huge game last week. And so you can go back and find out more about it by checking them out at KeylineMagOnline.com. Subscribe for updates at Keyline Mag. That's our sponsor for Keys to the Game. And, Gordy, what are your keys to the game tonight?
All right, thanks, Cole. I appreciate you. All right, we're going to get straight to it, and we're going to give you our Keyline Mag keys to the game. All right, Cole, first game. The first thing on my list that we got right here is runners to your mark. So, what we got to do today, we just got to get off to a fast start. We are playing against the Tulsa Hale team that does like to pass a lot. So, if Del City is in possession of the ball first, we really want to get off to a good start. Like Coach Jones said earlier, we really want to get Sincere Overton involved in a balanced offense. That way, he can kind of get that passing game going and, see what he can do in the air as far as, the talented backfield that they have, get those guys going as well. The second point that we have today is look up in the sky. we have number 1, Jordan DeRoyne, and the Rangers offense. They love to pass. So you got to be aware this guy, you know, he's a really good quarterback. So he'll be airing it out a lot. And what we really got to do, we have a really talented secondary with the Del City Eagles. So these guys, Caleb Blackwolf, you know, and the rest of the crew, they just got to be ready. And that's just what it's going to take to, you know, come out with the victory on this one. The last one, Coach Jones actually mentioned it earlier as far as Sincere Overton goes. We got to have a balanced offense. You know, we have such a talented backfield and such a talented group of receivers. What we really got to do is get off to a good start and make sure we get all these guys involved in the game. And that'll be our key line, 3 keys to the game by Gordy Jones.
All right, Gordy, thank you. We are just about ready for the national anthem. And, folks, since we are outside with the crowd, we are going to pause. We don't want to be talking during the national anthem. So we're going to keep it live, and we will just let you listen in to the national anthem as the Nathan Hale ROTC looks like will provide the colors. All right, that was our national anthem, brought to you there by the speaker, I guess. the band didn't give us the national anthem tonight from Nathan Hale. But, hey, listen, we need to talk about our starting lineups tonight. We don't ever have the actual starting lineup, so what we have actually turned this into, these are our key players to watch for tonight, and they are brought to you by DC Transmission. The Oklahoma Sports Network was so excited to welcome back DC Transmission because the thing is, Del City graduate Tom Fisher has been serving the community for 48 years, and he is the owner. He has been very trustworthy within Del City. So if you have a place you need to take your car, if your car breaks down, we hope it doesn't happen to you, but that's where you need to take it. Go to DC Transmissions. He'll take great care of you. And these key players to watch tonight for me on the offensive side of the ball, you heard Coach Jones talk about the emphasis of wanting to get the pass game going. You heard Gordy talk about it in his keys to the game. So Sincere Overton starting at quarterback, Ricklin Holmes and Caleb Blackwolf at the running back position, Josiah Chester at receiver. On the defensive end, you'll see a lot of those same guys, Ricklin Holmes, Caleb Blackwolf. But the other guy you might see is a guy that I have become quite the fan of. Caden Johnson, as a safety, has been doing a lot of great things. Also, Nicholas Holmes. How can we not mention Nicholas? Nicholas has made some big-time plays, really helped put his team a little bit on his back against Collinsville to help them get that thrilling victory. So some of those players to watch for tonight brought to you by DC Transmissions. And the referees are on the field, so the coin toss will be coming up shortly. Folks, I want to remind you, this is a little bit of a I don't know how to describe it. This could get a little wacky on us, Gordy. Because, there's no rain. I just looked at my radar. No rain anywhere in the state, but about to be where we are right now. And this is the one time this season we're set up outside. So that's predicament number one. Number two is we're set up right next to their big speaker. So you are hearing some really loud music right now. We apologize. Hopefully by the time the game starts, that'll kind of go away. So we will be back here in just a moment. We'll have the coin toss for you. It's Del City, Tulsa Hale on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us.
This is why you need our number in your phone.
This could be you! When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Dell City and Tulsa Hale. I'm Colton Fleetwood alongside Gordy Jones. Jacoby Brosi producing for us tonight. Cedric Brosi on the camera. These guys have been with us for a long time, doing great work. We appreciate them. Captains are on the field for the coin toss. I'll let Gordy watch while I tell you about our coin toss sponsor. Bucks Flight Academy is our sponsor for tonight, led by Dell City graduate Kenny Lockhart. For affordable flight training from private pilot through multi-engine rating, check them out on Facebook and Instagram. You can also book a Discovery flight today. Give them a call at 405-538-1400. I think that is such a cool sponsor to have.
Definitely.
I know John Kilty would have really liked it because he was a Navy pilot, and that is a really cool sponsor. We appreciate Kenny Lockhart coming on board to sponsor these coin tosses. Dell City has sent a few of their captains out there, and we are just waiting to see the result. Gordy, anything yet?
Nothing yet. They're still explaining the coin toss to both teams. Looks like they just finished explaining the Dell City Eagles. First they did Hale.
Caleb Blackwolf, Raekwon Wright, and it looks like Nicholas Holmes with the 3 out there for the coin toss. One thing to keep in mind, folks, there might be some lightning as well, so that we could get into a delay. Fingers crossed we don't, but just beware. It's possible.
It is a beautiful backdrop, though, Cole.
Yeah, it is until we're all soaking wet.
Right, exactly.
All right, that was a pretty good conversation there from the White Hat. Tulsa Hale has deferred. Dell City will receive the opening kickoff. They will. Nathan Hale will be kicking from north to south, I believe, if I have my cardinal directions correct. So there you go. There you have it, folks. Dell City will start with the football. We're 4 minutes away from kickoff, and you know, Gordy, we were. I was telling the audience before you got up here, trying to be funny, but also apologizing. Last week we had so many issues getting our broadcast up, and I know people were upset, and you know, I was joking a little bit because Texas played Sam Houston like a few weeks ago, and it was on ESPN Plus. And I'm trying to watch this game, and I'm getting so mad because it wouldn't work. I missed like a whole quarter of the game, and I even got on my X, which I don't do very often, my Twitter, X.
You're right.
And I got on there, and I sent ESPN Plus, like, man, so much for paying for ESPN Plus. Did the whole thing, you know, one of those things that you do. So anyway, I deleted it pretty quickly after because I felt bad. But what's funny is I'm doing that, and then here we are having technical difficulties. And I've got people sending me not quite that many messages, but the same messages.
I can understand.
It's frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
We do apologize for that.
Definitely, we apologize. And, if we could have did anything to fix it, we would have definitely done it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this should be a fun one tonight. You know, Nathan Hale, you know, Gordy, again, we're big on being pretty honest with our viewers, as honest as we can be. Last week when we got here to Tulsa Memorial, we knew the game was not going to be close.
Exactly.
And, you know, there's no sugarcoating it. This game will be maybe a little closer, a little more competition. There is some talent with Nathan Hale.
Right.
Their quarterback's a good player. You've seen some film on him. Talk a little bit about Nathan Hale and what they'll do, in your opinion, tonight to try to at least keep this game as close as possible.
Right. And we talked about Dorian, Dorian, if I pronounced that incorrectly. But anyway, Tulsa Hale, the Rangers, they look to come with a balanced passing attack, passing mostly. The quarterback, Jordan, he was actually a transfer in from Tulsa Webster, as I found out from one of the coaches earlier. So before they had him, they really didn't have much of a passing game. They were more of a running team before. But now Tulsa Hale has actually, developed, quite a bit of a passing game, having this quarterback for a couple of years now. And especially, they have about 2 running backs. So like I said, they do, do a really good job of spreading the ball around, as far as offensively. And they do, like I said, they try to get their running backs involved. So they're coming, with a little bit more of a high-powered offense than we seen last week with Tulsa Memorial. But, like you said earlier, they are kind of, a younger team where they are kind of get their legs underneath them. But they do have a lot of balance now, and they have a lot of consistency that really gives their coaches, confidence in the team that they have now.
Here comes the Eagles coming out of their really cool tunnel. I mean, we talked about it last year and this year, man. That's one of the best tunnels you'll ever see.
One of the coolest.
Really, really cool. So I'm glad you guys are getting to see that at home.
Definitely.
This first quarter tonight will be brought to you by our really good friend over at Whataburger. I got to tell you, I had Whataburger for lunch today, and I actually went to the Midwest City location over on 15th Street. That is our first quarter sponsor tonight. We appreciate them as always. And folks, I know you're getting a lot of feedback on our microphones. Nothing we can do about that. It's really windy here, just kind of out of nowhere. Again, this storm is just about to hit, it looks like. But Whataburger off Midwest City off of 15th Street welcomes you to come by after the game for a free medium fry with any purchase. All you got to do is say you're with Del City High School and that the Oklahoma Sports Network sent you. Only good on game day, only at the 15th Street location.
Yes.
Our opening kickoff tonight will be kicked off most likely by Rickland Holmes. Could be Jordan Ely, though. Will be brought to you by the Del City Chamber of Commerce. The Del City Chamber of Commerce is where the trusted resource for advocacy, education, and engagement to help you improve your business. We appreciate their sponsorship.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff, and hopefully this wind will die down a little bit. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Colton Fleetwood and Gordy Jones with you. A big storm is just about to hit us here, but as kickoff is about to begin between Del City and Tulsa Hale. The good news is the storm does not look like it's going to last very long, so you'll just have to forgive us here for a moment. Nathan Hale going to kick it off from left to right on your screen. Back to return for Del City. It looks like Caleb Blackwolf is perhaps one of them. Is that right, Gordy?
Yes, sir.
And I think Nicholas Holmes. No, Josiah Chester.
Josiah Chester?
Yep.
Number 5.
Those are the 2 men back there to return. So here we go. We're set for football. District matchup number 3 for Del City. Opening kick is an onside kick. That will be caught. A nice confident kick by the front line.
Tulsa Hale coming out with a little trickeration on that one. Guess they wanted to try to pin the Eagles a little bit short, but I hope they don't end up paying for that one in the long run.
Nice heads-up play by Cameron Dyer.
Right. Great return. Great catch.
Yeah, he did a good job of that. That was, it's one of those plays a lot of times you'll just take off to go blocking, and he was ready. Whenever you're a good football team, you start to realize teams are going to do everything they can to get an advantage over you. So that is exactly what Nathan Hale tried to do right off the bat. Did not work. Here comes Sincere Overton and Rickland Holmes in the Eagle backfield. Sincere going to pitch it out right to Rickland Holmes. Rickland Holmes off and running. Cuts it off past the 40. to the 44-yard line. That's what he'll be brought down. Gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. And
Nice
here,
push.
Here
Nice
comes
push.
the rain.
Uh-oh, here he comes.
All right, back to pass. Here comes Sincere, rolling left, throwing it deep. Boy, that ball's in the air for a long time, and it's intercepted. Picked up at the 27-yard line by Nathan Hale. That ball hung up in the air for a long time.
Right. Sincere got it up in the air, but unfortunately, like I said, it just, the wind caught it. It's so windy out right now. That ball hung up quite a bit of time in the air. Defensive back was able to come along with it.
Woo. Alrighty, folks, please bear with us. We're doing our very best here. It is really, really, really starting to storm on us, so hang tight. Tulsa Hale's offense coming out on the field.
Looks like Tulsa will start out with the one-back set.
And it's going to be an incomplete pass, batted down by Del City. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Nice block and nice knockdown by Cameron DeGert on that one.
Thank you, Gordy. Our
Check.
You still got me? Oh, this is fun. All right, 2nd down here, folks. We're going to actually turn our microphones off here. We'll try to keep our camera live. I know this is not good sound, so we're going to turn our mic off. We're going to let you just watch the game here for a few moments. You're watching the Oklahoma Sports Network. mic's back on. Hey, these guys came to play.
Yeah. They ran a fake punt earlier when you left.
Did Eric text back? I'm going to go ahead and at least bring myself back for a second, just so people know. Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Rain has kind of slowed down a little bit. Man, we were getting pounded there for a minute, but we're back with you here. Del City's defense got to stop, as I'm sure you saw there on the camera.
Run by Holmes and Del City.
Nice dive by Rickland Holmes up the middle.
Gets the first down. Boy, Tulsa Hale came to play. I mean,
did.
This weather especially, they came to play. This weather just kind of came out of nowhere. I don't think anybody really expected it. And, man, it's been kind of a little overwhelming for everybody. Del City 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Overton in the backfield. He'll bring a man in motion from left to right. That's Quincy Hill. And he's hitting the backfield for a loss back to the 29-yard line.
Tried the old sneakeroo attack with Quincy Hill with the motion across the middle. Looks like Tulsa Hale was just a little bit ready for that one on the end.
I want to thank everybody for sticking with us. Hopefully you're still able to see everything. We are just, we're set up outside, like we said, and, it just so happens the one time we're set up outside when it's going to rain like this on us. So our guys are kind of scrambling. Jacoby and Cedric doing a great job keeping things rolling the best they can here. There's movement on the pre-snap here. It'll be it's 3rd and long, by the way. They're going to call a false start on Del City. Back them up another 5.
Yeah, I think I seen 52 on that edge. Just jump a little bit.
This is not the start that Coach Jones wanted for his guys.
Not at all, not at all.
I assure you. Exactly the start that the Rangers wanted. They've got a new football coach. Coach Jesse Jones came from Tulsa Union as an assistant from there. He's a big-time ball coach, and he's going to have these guys getting better and better as Coach Robert Jones is going to call a timeout for Del City. I think it's a good timeout. 2:11 left in the first quarter. 0-0 our score. The Eagles kind of struggling here to start. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. 3rd and long for Del City up to the 32. The rain has started to die down, so we should be squared away now. Overton single gun, 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Back to pass is Overton, 4-man rush, plenty of time, good pass protection. Now he's going to take off and run. Going to try to put a couple moves on, and he's able to get past the 35 to the 37-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down for the Eagles.
Nice positive run there for Overton. Good thing, we are kind of getting that ball spread out a little bit, and that's really a good thing. They had trips to the left. But Tulsa Hale is giving a 4-3 front on that one, so they're kind of giving Sincere a little bit of a little bit of room here in that space to, give him that time to move up the middle. Hopefully they can capitalize on this 4th down here.
Does not look like Del City's going to go for it unless they
punt now.
They have a fake planned out. Rickland Holmes is back there to kick it away. He will kick it away. It's a booming kick, very high in the air. Will be returnable by the quarterback, DeRoy. DeRoy takes off running towards the Hale sideline, and he is hit at the 35-yard line after a decent gain. That's where the Rangers will take over at their own 35-yard line.
Good takedown by Jamari Johnson on that one. Really don't see a quarterback returning punts a lot like that, Cole, but
you sure don't. Not unless it's 8-man football.
He's definitely an athlete.
He is. No, he looks like a pretty good player. Looks like they've got a few of them.
Definitely. Tulsa Hale's coming to play, and that's the thing that we really wanted to see today. You know, playing against a team like Dale City, it's just, you know, you really never know what to expect from such a talented group of men. Tulsa Hale, you know, they just came out with, you know, such urgency, and that's, you know, what it really takes, especially with the fake punt, kind of catching Dale City off guard. But this will be their second chance, you know, get on offense. So let's see if they can capitalize here.
Trying to read my soggy paperwork now.
Right.
Makes this a little more challenging. Trying to keep it from ripping.
Right.
Eagle defense, this is their second time on the field tonight. If you're just joining us, the Eagles threw an interception on their opening drive, and it was crazy because Dell City probably had a game plan in place. Like, these are going to be the first 2 plays called, right? You usually have that, like a script kind of planned out. And I don't think anybody anticipated we were going to get out of nowhere 50 to 60-mile-an-hour winds and heavy rain. And, I mean, it started right as Dell City's offense took the field. And Sincere just threw a ball. Probably would have been a good pass, but the wind knocked it down. It was picked off. So that's how Dell City's first one. Then they had to punt on the last one here. So Hale hands it off up the middle. Ooh, big tackle. Ooh. Big tackle. That is Gylan King.
Nice stick. Dale City decided to line up in that 4-4 defense on this one, giving a little bit more space, you know, gap fillers, and, of course, you know, great tackle by King on that one.
Second down and 13 coming up for the Rangers as the Ranger fan base will start to make their way back into their seats here on the home side. We are on the home side. We're at the very top, right next to the press box. And there was a lot of them that went downstairs, and they are making their way back. So that tells you somebody probably saw a radar that said we're getting ready to be in the clear.
Definitely.
15 seconds left to go in quarter number 1. DeRoyan going to run an option to the left. It was kind of a bunched option that was almost a little bit congested, and the flag came flying in as the stop was in the backfield. Dell City, I think, probably, unless this is on Dell City, if it's a hold, you probably decline it and take the 3rd down and long.
That'll be a hold. I seen that flag coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, it looks
Let's see what they say here.
Looks like you're right. Coach Jones said to decline it. So, was a hold. It'll be declined. It'll be 3rd and 15.
Nice push, though, by the defensive line, able to get in that backfield and kind of break that up on that option.
All right. So the Eagle defense has a chance to get off the field here. 9 seconds to go in quarter number 1. This first quarter kind of flew by.
Right.
A little bit. Rangers send 3 receivers to their right, 1 to the left. DeRoyan in the backfield takes the snap. Play action, back to pass. It's a screen set up to the far side of the screen to the 40. 45, 50, cuts it back upfield and slips and falls into Eagle territory to the 46-yard line. And that'll be the last play of the first quarter as Nathan Hale giving Dell City a heck of a fight. The fans on this side on their feet cheering on the Rangers. They've got to be proud of this first quarter. They have really played well and in some ways taken it to the Eagles. The Eagles will have to regroup. Hopefully they can do that during this break. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the Works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find...
Back live with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network for quarter number 2, brought to you by Whataburger on 15th Street in Midwest City. A rainy night finally calmed down. Now we just got wind as the Rangers have it 1st and 10 in Eagle territory. DeRoy back to pass. He's a nice-looking quarterback. Throws the ball a little high. Had a screen. Boy, he actually had a blocker in front of him. Had he been able to catch that, he might would have picked up some yards. Coach Jones.
A lot of wide open spaces I'm seeing here by the Dale City defense. I think Tulsa Hale is really taking advantage of those parts of the field and, really kind of catching Dale City off guard a little bit, just like that last screenplay, in the first quarter. Dale City really just got, settled in and kind of watched, the play develop. We're kind of dead set on some of these plays, and Tulsa Hale's really got a good passing game going, so really Dale City just has to key on those receivers as well.
Going to be a handoff running left, and a good tackle out there by Caleb Blackwolf.
Nice stick.
Brings up 3rd and 9. Coach Jones not happy with his team right now.
Right.
He's frustrated with the way they've started this game, and
they're doing a really good job. The thing where I'm seeing, they're doing a good job stopping the run and definitely, doing a good job by penetrating, on the defensive line. The thing that's really catching them off guard is these 3rd down and distance plays. Like I said, the last play and the last distance that they ran, they had that screen pass that they were able to kind of break free. And, of course, on that first drive, they were able to run the fake punt. So Dale City just really has to stay engaged and stay aware of what the play call is before the play actually snaps.
DeRoy with a big 3rd down and 10. Looks over and talks to his running back. Brings one man in motion. We're going to get a false start. The receiver jumped. Well, the one receiver came in motion, so looks like number 7 is the one who jumped. It'll make this a little bit more difficult. 3rd and 14 coming up for the Rangers.
Definitely helps Dale City out a lot on that one.
Yeah, it does. Dale City's trying to find themselves a little bit right now. I think a lot of it, you can blame the weather, but both teams have to play through it, right? And neither team really expected this, so I don't think that's a fair thing to blame. I don't think Coach Jones would like that.
Right.
I think the guys just have to lock in mentally. I think that's what you're seeing right now.
Definitely.
They just, sometimes these games, when everybody at school is talking about, you guys will blow these guys out, we don't need to go to the game, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
You hear it, and you start to believe it.
That's the truth, Cole.
And it makes you start to struggle, as we're going to get a timeout from Nathan Hale this time, as they feel themselves in this football game, and they want to try to take advantage of it. 10:39 left to go in quarter number 2. We're tied at 0 here from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dale City and Nathan Hale will be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
All right.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This is why you need our number in your phone.
This could be you!
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. 3rd and 15 for the Rangers. Brings a man in motion from left to right. He's going to hand it backwards to them. It's a trick play. Back to DeRoy. DeRoy going to try to take off. Rickland Holmes tried to get there. Somebody for the Eagles saved a big play. It was the freshman, Damani Godwin. How about that play, Gordy?
Right. Nice. Cameron turned it up right back to the quarterback. Like I said, Dale City recognizing that play and be able to stop that one in the backfield. Great job by the defense to stop and recognize that trick play. You really don't see that often.
No, again, you can feel it. The Rangers, they feel like they have a chance here to try to make something happen. That timeout came out with a trick play, and boy, it was close. It actually was close to working. You ended up getting it back to the initial line of scrimmage. It'd be 4th and 10 now. If you're Dale City, you might want to watch for a fake, but This punter is pretty good. One of the better punters as he struggles with the snap and then drills the punt. That'll bounce around the 21-yard line. Good punt by him because I don't think that I honestly thought for a second he wasn't even going to be able to get it off.
Right. That was a good punt. But like I said, nice showing by Dale City on the, defensive end. What we were really looking for was them to get a stop and kind of get those, the ball out of Tulsa Hale's hands. DeRoyan is really doing a really good job of controlling this offense, but unfortunately, they weren't able to come up with the first down. But good thing for Dale City, that gives them another chance on the offense to see if they could try to put some points on the board.
Nathan Hale's punter is number 37. Looking up into the crowd, telling somebody that he did a good job. Looks like Caden Clayton is the punter. Sincere hands this one off to Rickland Holmes. Rickland Holmes with a tough, hard run. Finally goes down at the 31-yard line. Very close to the first down marker, and I think it's just enough for the first down. It'll move the sticks.
Nice read and nice tough run by Rickland on that one. Nice dive up the middle. We can see Dale City is actually getting a good push on the offensive line, to give them at least 8 or 9 yards on that one.
Now that the wind has started to die down, Gordy, that's the second element of this. Now you're throwing a wet ball probably, right?
Right.
The ball's probably going to get wet whenever they go down to spot it. Do you think that really affects the quarterback, Sincere Overton, throwing the ball? Or, what are your thoughts as a coach right now?
It's definitely going to be a little bit slick, but, of course, I think the coaches are probably trying to wait for it to drop just a little bit. But, like you said, the field conditions are just going to be what it is. The thing is, you still got to, go along with the same game plan. It's going to be a little bit slick, but you still have to kind of go out. But they're having a really good, job as far as success with the running game right now. So I imagine that they'll probably, try to see if they can keep Rickland Holmes going.
Josiah Chester's lined up on the near side of the screen. Holmes in the backfield with Sincere. Holmes going to take the carry to the left edge. Had a couple guys in his face right as he got to the edge, and he was not able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, Nathan Hale's defense really competing out there. And Coach Jones talked to you about that, Gordy, during the pregame, during the interview, that he thought Nathan Hale was going to force Dell City to throw the ball. And that's exactly what they're doing.
That's exactly what they're doing.
There was a lot of guys in their face there.
Crashing down on the ball, they're coming along with the 4-4. And then, of course, they, like I said, they have a lot of guys blitz. And anytime they see the run, these guys are going full force and full speed, straight to Rickland Holmes. They know how talented this guy is. So, of course, they're going to key on him, most of the game. But the thing is, like I said, they're going to try their best to not let this running game get going.
8:45 left to go in quarter number 2. Overton going to run a flanker screen out to Josiah Chester. Almost picked off. Now Chester going to try to reverse field completely, and that was a smart move because he's off and running to the 50. Gets a block from Overton to the 40, and a good pickup. Best offensive play for the Eagles so far in the game.
All right, great bubble screen to the right. Ashley and Josiah Chester able to kind of cut it back and cut across and gain a great amount of yardage on the left side. Josiah Chester, you said, like we said earlier, Cole, we knew these guys were going to have to put the ball in the air just a little bit, especially with this talented group of receivers. But, putting the ball inside of Josiah Chester's hands, is such a talented gentleman. He can do so many things with the ball and able to, give Dale City a good breath of life on that carry.
41-yard line. Handoff to Holmes. Holmes going to try to bust it outside, and he is tackled at the 40. Pickup of 1 for Rickland Holmes. Man, they are, like the Rangers are literally, they're running straight downhill.
Running straight to the ball. And that's what you love to see, especially as a defensive guy myself. You want to see all hats on the ball, and you want to see everybody, going towards that guy. But these guys are coming with some force. These guys are really, coming with some intent. They're not really letting the Rickland Holmes get away or get anything going.
Now you have to wonder now for Dell City, do they, because of that, at what point do they start to throw the ball down the field? They have only done it once. It was intercepted, but the wind was blowing 50 miles an hour.
Right. It feels good. It feels so good right now, outside. If I was a quarterback, I want to air this thing out.
And that's exactly what it looks like they're trying to do, but nobody open. Sincere Overton has to try to make something out of nothing. Gets the ball up to the 36-yard line. Going to be another third down for Dell City. 7 minutes left to go in the quarter.
Just know where to go with that one. Unfortunately, Dell City, they always have a great, fast, group of guys. The thing about Tulsa Hale, they actually got some good speed as well. They got a team full of athletes, as we can see on the defensive end. You can see pretty much across the board, defensive tackles, linebackers, and D-backs. Tulsa Hale has some athletes, and as far as speed, these guys are competing pretty heavily.
Caden Thomas checks into the game for Dell City, lined up as an up back on the left side. Overton going to take off running to the left with the lead blocker, a Black Wolf. He gets upfield to the 30-yard line, pushes his way forward to the 29, gets the first down. Nothing coming easy for the Eagles so far. They're having to earn everything they're getting.
That's the truth. I love it, especially, this hard-nosed football and being a young kid like Sincere Overton. He's seen it last year. He's seen a lot of that. But this, time, him going up the middle, using everything he had, as far as toughness to get that first down, he was able to come up with it.
Overton out of the gun, receiver to each side. Caleb Blackwolf in the backfield with him. Takes the snap, hands it to Blackwolf. Blackwolf hits the hole hard. Blackwolf is running, spins, 10, 5, and he's into the end zone for the score. Caleb Blackwolf finally puts Del City on the board with 5:57 left to go in quarter number 2. And that's exactly what Del City needed, Gordy, because that kind of silences the momentum on this side.
It does. They finally got it going. Of course, like Coach Jones said, they really wanted to get that running game going. Caleb Blackwolf, the difference between him, and Rickland Holmes is, the power and the speed. But Caleb Blackwolf, he hit that hole so fast, right up the middle, and able to kind of spin away for that touchdown. But like I said, legs didn't stop moving, didn't stop churning, and, able to get in for the touchdown. Great job by Caleb Blackwolf and great job by the Del City offense.
Del City's got a new kicker out there, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know who it was. Number 82. Do you have him on your roster?
I do not. That's crazy because I thought Jordan Ely did such a great job. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but they may just be trying out somebody different this week.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. I mean, let me see if I can try to find my. I have a second roster for Del City somewhere on my sheet here, but I don't see it. So never mind.
If I can find that.
I was going to see if maybe it was updated. 7-0 our score. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Colton Fleetwood, Gordy Jones. 7-0 our score. Del City with 5:57 left to go in quarter number 2. Game a lot closer than folks may have thought. Rickland Holmes about to have a Del City Chamber of Commerce kickoff here. This is their first time kicking it off as this ball is drilled to the 5-yard line where that will be returned. Returned to the 15, 20, and ankle tackled by Del City's number 21. I think that's our that was our player of the game last week. Nope, that's Jamari Johnson. I beg your pardon.
Jamari Johnson.
The sophomore makes that play. Gordy, that last touchdown by Caleb Blackwolf. Go ahead and tell us who sponsored that touchdown.
All right, that last touchdown was brought to you by the Madison's Country Cooking. So the key phrase this week is pancake. And that will get you 10% off all purchases. So this week, open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday, and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., Sunday and Monday breakfast, lunch and dinner specials. Breakfast served all day. So free Thanksgiving dinner as well on Thanksgiving Day. So for all your country cooking needs, you go to Madison's Country Cooking in Del City, Oklahoma.
Nathan Hale, they need a score here. Try to keep things rolling for them. They need to make something happen. Going to be a run to the far right side. Draquan Wright did a great job out there. Trips up the runner. It's going to be a loss of yardage for Nathan Hale. Nice job by Draquan.
Okay, great job in the backfield. Stopping number 9, Elijah Daniels. Like I said before, these guys got a great amount of speed, but he was able to get inside that backfield and get that, for a loss. Probably about 5 yards on that one.
Nathan Hale trying everything they can, but I like the play call. I mean, I think it's a good call to try to do something. You want to try to make Del City get confused. That's the biggest thing you want to try to do.
And I like, the thing about Nathan Hale, they are using, the wide sides of the field, trying to use that speed to kind of break on the outside edge, and that's really what it's going to take against us. Guys that are as fast as the linebackers that Del City have.
DeRoyan, great pocket presence, takes off running to the right, picks up a decent amount of yards back to the initial line of scrimmage, maybe an extra yard past that. brings up 3rd down and 9.
Just nothing going. I said Tulsa Hale, they have a really good, amount of speed with these receivers, but Dale City, they're just as fast and they're just as big. So what, they're going to really have to do is kind of use some of these shorter routes to get it, underneath. And that's really like the only success that you might have. Not really going to have a lot of success, throwing against Dale City with the size and the speed that they have over the top. So really, you're really going to have to do is use that speed to kind of use those crossing routes and kind of break across the middle and, get that on the outside edge.
3rd down and 10 for the Rangers. It's funny, Gordy, I'm actually looking at the quarterback's dad, I would imagine, because every time he looks over here, his dad's talking to him. Black Wolf on the bubble screen goes nowhere.
Woo!
Tackled quickly. It'll be 4th down. But, yeah, every time he's looking over here, his dad's telling him what to do, trying to guide him, and he's actually looking up here. It's that's kind of cool. You like to see that.
That is cool. That is really cool.
I don't know that the coaches love that.
Right. A lot of my coaches, that my kids play for, they tell us, please don't talk to the kids during the game.
I can't help myself.
I can't help it, Cole. I try my best. I mean, I'm working. I'm getting better every year. I'm working on myself.
4th and 12, and another punt coming up for Caden Clayton. He's one of the better punters we've seen this season, as this one is not one of his better punts. It'll bounce at the 42 to the 46 and roll its way close to midfield. They'll down it at the Ranger 49-yard line, where Del City will take over offensively. And it seems like Del City has settled into this game now.
Definitely.
Finally. They've been really, honestly, it's been a little bit uncomfortable, but not to the point like it was against Collinsville.
Right.
Like where you thought, man, Del City's going to get beat here. It's not that point for me. It just looks like to me Del City didn't come mentally locked in to start this game.
Exactly. I think, like you said before, I think they may have underestimated Nathan Hale just a little bit. And the Rangers, they came to, bring a game. And that's the thing. When you're playing against a team like Del City, you really got to bring it. But good job by the defense on that last stop.
Hand off to Black Wolf again. Black Wolf running hard, carrying a tackle. Oh, my gosh, carried a tackle 10 full yards. They'll call it 8 yards. Really close to the 1st down. He had a guy on his back piggybacking him all the way to the 39-yard line.
About a 5-yard carry, of the teammate, and as well, about 8 yards total on that carry by Holmes. But great run up the middle. Like I said before, they are, running with intent, making sure that they're trying to, keep the ball on the ground, not really throwing the ball in the air, and I assume that they'll kind of, stretch that out a little bit here. But staying in control of the game, that's what's the most important part. Del City's really doing a good job of controlling that and keeping control of the ball as well.
We do have a Ranger down on the field where the 1st down sticks lie. Del City up 7-0 right now. 3:07 left to go in quarter number 2. Good to see the Ranger back up on his feet. Looks like it's
Gabriel Domick.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be okay as he's able to walk off on his own power. Good to see that. Gabriel's a big kid. He's got a lot of size. I think 6'3", 250, only a sophomore. So that's promising. He's actually made a lot of plays on the defensive front for the Rangers. One of the things, Gordy, that maybe I'm a little bit surprised by is the fact that Claremore was able to run the ball pretty easily against the Rangers. Del City having a little bit of trouble.
And it seems like, they have so much speed in the inside. I think Del City is really, like you said, they use a lot of read option. As you see that pass there.
Yep, there goes Josiah Chester, and he's going to go out of bounds at the 20-yard line. He was being chased by another guy that was not even covering him, and he had some wheels. Looked like that was number 5 for Nathan Hale. Number 5 is, we'll get you a name here, Sherrard Boyd. Sherrard Boyd is a 5'9", 170-pound sophomore, another young player. Boy, he looks to have some wheels.
Nice, precise pass by Sincere Overton, on that one. I really like, the quickness and the decisiveness of that one. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit slick out there, so Sincere Overton's doing a really good job of controlling. Nice carry by Black Wolf.
Black Wolf puts on a nice move, and he's going to have touchdown number 2 for Del City. Did you see that punt look right, go left? Everybody fooled him. Maybe I was a little bit fooled. 2:50 left to go in quarter number 2, and Del City adds on to the score. I forgot to read you our Red Zone sponsor, by the way. Our Red Zone sponsor is Bail Bonds by Tamara. Find yourself in a jam or maybe a traffic ticket you can't pay. Bail Bonds by Tamara is who you need to call. She'll get you hooked up. Hopefully you don't get in that situation, but if you do, she's the person to call. You can give her a call at 405-200-5110 as this kick is up, and it is good. That was a pretty clean kick that time. 14-0 with 2:50 left to go in quarter number 2. Del City's on top on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Del City's up 14-0. Rickland Holmes about to kick it off here. This kickoff is brought to you by the Del City Chamber of Commerce. Del City Chamber of Commerce is where the trusted resource for advocacy, education, and engagement to help you improve your business is at. Give them a call. Go check them out if you're a business owner in the Del City area. Kickoff has returned to the 25-yard line. Got a flag being thrown in from way behind the play. The man returning it was Niza Abraham, it looks like. Another young player, a junior. Tell you what, a lot of youth on this team. Now, Gordy, that second touchdown was by Caleb Blackwolf, touchdown number 2 for tonight.
Yeah.
He's gone quiet touchdown-wise the last couple games. Good to see him back in the end zone.
He's running tough. He is running tough. And that's, congratulations to that kid. And that's what we really love to see, from the running backs here at Del City. And that now that leaves us at a 14 score, 14-0. And that'll give you our scoring recap, of course. Let me get you that. And that is Madison's Country Cooking. So the key phrase this week is pancakes. So that will get you 10% off all purchases this week. Open at 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday. So Monday through Friday breakfast, lunch and dinner specials, breakfast served all day, free Thanksgiving dinner on Thanksgiving Day. That is your scoring recap brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking.
Got somebody who checked in on YouTube here. T. Smith says, "Let's go Eagles. My son is on the team." Thanks for checking in with us here on YouTube.
No doubt.
But 2:42 left. You got to think the Rangers, the way they've started this game, they have to score. As there's going to be a quick screen to the right, gets up to the 19-yard line. I got to tell you, the strength for the Rangers to me is their quarterback play.
Right.
He looks like he's a pretty good player.
They're coming out, once again, they came out in the trip set on that one, and he's really, like I said, doing a really good job, DeRoyan is, by getting the ball out quick. He's being very decisive. These, like I said, group of receivers that Tulsa Hale has are really fast, of course. And said he's getting the ball out quick, good receptions, just really trying to see if they can move the ball. But like you say, he is strictly in control of the game right now.
They trust him. 3 receivers left, 2 right. Going to fake it this time and try to take off running, and that didn't work as he was tackled quickly. A ton of flags come out. Both line judges and I think also the back judge threw a flag.
Looks like Devin Joseph was the first one to the tackle on the backfield, but say good job by Del City on the stop. Able to stop him for a loss. They're just doing so much with Dorian right now. I think it's kind of making him easy to key on, but that is your top player, so he's got to be your playmaker.
Gordy, I'm hungry right now. My stomach is growling. I haven't eaten very much today. So I'm looking around right now because we're at the very top, and I'm looking for a Whataburger sign. So that reminds me who's actually bringing us our second quarter tonight. It's Whataburger over on 15th Street in Midwest City. I wish we were closer because I would be there after the game to go get me a free medium fry with any purchase. It's only available on game day, only at the Midwest City location off 15th Street.
Got to get there.
If we were closer to Midwest City, I might start saying whoever brings me some Whataburger might become a new friend of mine.
We're not far away, so if you want to bring Colt and I some dinner, we would love it.
Drive all the way to Tulsa. 3rd down and long coming up for the Rangers now with 1 minute and 52 seconds and running on the clock. Now for the Rangers, again, this is kind of a big play. I think you have to play aggressive right here. You can't worry about turning it over. At this point, you don't care about the game getting away from you. You got to try to keep it close here. This is a big play for them if they want to keep it close. DeRoyan going to roll to his left. Turn back around, throw the other way, and it was almost picked off. Basil Gunter closed in on that very quickly. In fact, had he been looking for the football, I'm not so sure he wouldn't have picked it off and taken it to the house.
Looks like they recognized that play. They tried that earlier, to the opposite side of the field earlier, but he was able to recognize that. Gunter's just doing a really good job using that quickness to, to kind of elude himself, especially making damage in that backfield, able to get back there quickly and break up that play to bring them to a 4th down. So they'll punt from here, but good job by the Dale City defense, coming there and making a stop. But like you said, DeRoyan, really just doing what he can to try to get him involved, but Dale City's, too lethal and too athletic on that last drive.
And the clock continued to run. Coach Jones is that what he's upset about? I'm not sure what it was. He's out on the field. White hat walking this way towards us. It's a minute 21 on the clock. The clock shouldn't have stopped because
now it looks like they're resetting it.
Was it an incomplete pass? It was an incomplete pass. The clock should have stopped. I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. Coach Jones on top of it. Yeah, there was a lot of clock that came off. I think there was like closer to a minute 40.
That's what I was wondering.
Whenever that pass was thrown. I just, for whatever reason in my head, thought he caught. Yeah, minute 45. There we go.
That seems about right.
That gives Dale City more time to work with, try to get it up to 3 scores before the half.
It always amazes me when the coaches can, recognize that because I'm so involved in the game sometimes. I have trouble even looking up.
Clayton going to get the punt. Oh, not a good punt. Kicks it towards his own sideline, and it'll stop at the 36-yard line. Dale City going to get great field position to start this drive with a minute 38 left to go in the half. And, well, I'll tell you, this game did not start out pretty, and it didn't start out pretty for us either. We up here in the booth.
Right.
I should clarify.
We got a little wet.
We got a little wet. We got a little cold. I looked over at Jacoby at one point, and he was shivering. And so it is a little bit chilly up here. It all of a sudden, it was Jacoby, whenever we first got here, said to me, we might get some rain. And I thought, we'll be all right. There's not a cloud in the sky.
Right.
And I kind of thought he was crazy. Well, kickoff starts, and here comes the rain. And we got hammered pretty good there. So I think for that, the players struggled to get it rolling too. And now Dale City's starting to pick up where they need to be. Is Sincere Overton going to take off running left. He's going to hit the edge. That's what Coach Jones wanted him to do. Gets out of bounds past the 20. And he'll be marked out of bounds at the 16, 17. They'll mark him at the 17-yard line in the red zone.
Great job. Great job by Sincere to follow Caleb Blackwolf on that lead block. Able to break out to the outside on that one. I'm, of course, doing a really good job, like we said earlier, keeping the ball on the ground, being kind of, steady as far as, the balance goes. But Sincere Overton, good carry to get Dale City the first down.
Red Zone sponsor is Bail Bonds by Tamra. Appreciate her sponsorship. Back to passes Overton. Pumps, now looks, gets it out. Caught. Tackled inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Didn't see a number. Was that
I think it was Walter Franklin on that one, number 4.
Good catch.
If I believe so.
I think you're right.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. Number 4.
Yeah, good. Let's say good pass by Sincere on that one. Nice little hitch route by Franklin. Just keeping it simple, and that's what we really need to do at this point.
Hand off to Blackwolf. Blackwolf running up the middle, looking for touchdown number 3, and Caleb Blackwolf has it. He took a tackler with him into the end zone. Dale City up 20-0 with a little under a minute left to go in the half. And Dale City really has had a strong second quarter.
Right.
First quarter was not so good.
Right.
Second quarter looking pretty good.
Right. Like we talked about before, the field conditions is one thing, and that's kind of like, when it kind of catches you off guard, especially when you underestimate a team. That catches you off guard as well. But Dale City is basically settled in, doing what they came to do. Caleb Blackwolf is doing a really good job of running up the middle. It's almost been the same exact play, these plays that he scored on, but doing a really good job. The offensive line getting a good push once they get in that red zone. If they can kind of, use that consistency, into the field, that'll really do them a really good job. But like I said, great job by the Dale City offense to move the ball in just a short amount of time, and great third touchdown by Caleb Blackwolf.
Got another post here on YouTube we'll check in with. It says the QB for Hale's dad plays with the Oklahoma Bears, the development team that Coach Cox runs.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I believe it. He looks like an athlete.
From what I hear, he may have been a former Hale player as well back in the day. I'm not sure what year he may have graduated.
What was his name? Do you know?
I'm assuming his last name might be Dory. I'm not sure what his first name is called. I wanted to find out what year he graduated.
Looks like a good athlete. The Oklahoma Bears, It's kind of funny. A lot of folks on here, we've got to tell you, this kickoff is brought to you by the Del City Chamber of Commerce as Rickland Holmes will kick it away. The Oklahoma Bears, kind of a cool story. We'll get to that here in just a moment. It actually involves Coach Cox, includes me, and a lot of people didn't know this, and so we'll tell that story in a moment. Rickland Holmes with a kick. It's a high end-over-end kick that'll be returned at the 10-yard line, brought past the 20.
Great kick, though.
Was a good kick to the 29-yard line. That last score also, that touchdown by Caleb Blackwolf, it was touchdown number 3.
Number 3.
Brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. Go in there anytime this week and say the word pancake, and you're going to get 10% off any purchases. Also, remember this, on Thanksgiving, if you go in there on Thanksgiving Day, you'll get a free Thanksgiving dinner. How cool is that?
It is.
So the story I was going to tell you, Gordy, and I think I've told you this, is that my very first broadcasting job was with the Oklahoma City Bounty Hunters.
Right.
And Coach Cox was the head coach of that football team in Oklahoma City, and I actually was able to go to Austin, Texas, and broadcast a championship game with them. It was an interesting experience for me. Got to meet some cool people. I know, like Reggie Arnold was the running back at that time, played at Arkansas State, was a pretty big-time running back. There was a receiver for that Bounty Hunters team. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Played in the NFL. Actually caught a touchdown in a preseason game for Michael Vick.
Really?
So it was interesting to see. The Bears now, of course, Coach Cox is the leader of that right now. So they're rolling back to pass, doing a great job trying to escape the pressure, but just couldn't escape enough of it as he is brought down from behind. And 40 seconds left to go. You would think that Nathan Hale might try to.
Nice sack back. Nice sack by Gylan King on that one. Way to get in the backfield, create a loss for about 10 yards on that. But like you said, some great talent, great athletes, come up through these teams, especially like the Oklahoma City Bounty Hunters and the Oklahoma City Bears. These guys, they have such a good love for the sport, and that's just one of the things that just keeps that fire going.
They're rolling back to pass. Nice sharp throw, and oof. Receiver was hit hard, took the hit well. Got it back close to the initial line of scrimmage, up to the 26-yard line. Needed to get it to the 29, and that'll do it for the first half. Del City 21, Nathan Hale 0. This game was deadlocked at 0 after the first quarter.
Right.
Quick turnaround for Del City to get up by 3 scores, but I can assure you Coach Jones is still not going to be happy when he goes into the locker room. He's going to have a long conversation with his guys to really pick it up here in the third quarter. So this halftime show is going to be brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. I'm not sure what kind of show we're going to have because I don't know for sure if Nathan Hale's going to send their band on the field. I hope they do. If they do, we'll show it to you because it'll be neat. But Madison's Country Cooking, keep this in mind. I'm going to say it again. Go in this week, say the code word pancake, tell them the Oklahoma Sports Network sent you. You'll get 10% off all purchases. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they serve it all week. So make sure you go check them out. We're going to take a quick break here. 21-0 our score on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us.
This is why you need our number in your phone.
This could be you!
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. This halftime show brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. Madison's Country Cooking. If you go in there anytime this week, use the word pancake, get 10% off all purchases. Cedric, our camera guy, said that the fish there is really good. He texted me one night and was like, hey, Colton, what's the code word again? And does it work this week? Because I'm going to go in there and get it. So that tells you I trust Cedric's judgment in food because I like to eat a lot. And so I know that Cedric probably has good judgment there. Cedric and I have talked about restaurants for many years now working together, and everything he likes, I like. And so I think you should go check them out.
Definitely. I love some fish.
Now, this game's been just odd from beginning to end.
For sure.
So started out really ugly, like pretty much as if you were just sitting there looking at everyone's bowling shoes while they're bowling. That was the way this game started out. First quarter was a struggle. But Del City in the second quarter really ramped it up. Coach Jones is going to go have that conversation in the locker room, I can assure you. But there is some things to think about. Again, we've mentioned a lot. I know you're probably tired of hearing about it. We got hit with a rainstorm right as the game started. Kind of came out of nowhere. Wind was blowing about 50 miles an hour, and the rain was coming in really hard from all different directions. And so the very first pass of the game, because it was probably scripted, they took a downfield shot. Sincere wasn't able to really set his feet, and it was picked off.
Right.
Had the wind not been blowing, I bet you it probably would have been a touchdown.
Definitely.
That's the way the game started, and I think maybe Del City just kind of was like, frustrated by it, and they started to struggle. But they picked it up a little bit. Gordy, YouTube is really cool, and I'm starting to try to do this more, is people watch these games on YouTube. So I want to take a minute and tell people about that.
Right.
You can watch the game on YouTube if you want to, if you have it streamed on your phone, but you can also just download the Oklahoma Sports Network app. It's free. Download it on your phone, your Android device, Apple device, whatever you have. You can also download it on your TV on Roku. So what I do is I go back and watch other teams, especially if Del City's going to play them, and I use the Oklahoma Sports Network a lot.
Right.
And I'll go on there and just watch those games on my TV, and it comes across really well. So check it out. Also check us out on Facebook and X and Twitter, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Instagram, all those things. Make sure you give us a like and a follow. We appreciate it.
Definitely.
And then what I was going to say with YouTube is during the game, you can actually go on the live chat and you can communicate. I'll see it, so you can actually communicate. I think what we are going to do, Gordy, and I'm going to have your help with this, is we're going to start trivia. And we're going to have you answer here on YouTube. So that's the first part. Second part is, and if you're listening, we're going to also let somebody, if you have a question you want to ask Coach Jones after the game, it's got to be appropriate first and foremost. So nothing inappropriate.
That's cool.
But if you have a question for Coach Jones, Gordy might go on the field and ask it, and we'll tell him what it is. I think we're going to start doing this, just to kind of engage our fans into the game. So
that would be cool.
We'll come up with that. And if you get the trivia question right, we'll try to come up with something maybe that we can hook you up with.
We'll try to hook them up with something.
We'll talk with Coach about it, see what we can do. So with the YouTube thing, I want to go ahead and just kind of read some of this. A lot of Bears guys talking. We got that going here.
All right. We see y'all.
The Bears play at Del City High School, which is cool. And so one of the guys who's checked in here is we've got Michael Abbott. He actually played at Del City in 2017, right before I got here. I just missed you, Michael, but thanks for checking in. You're a current nose guard for the Oklahoma Bears, and so appreciate that. He wanted to give a shout out to Cedric. He was a teammate with Cedric at Del City, so that's pretty cool. Cedric looking at me, but I don't think he can hear me. I'll tell you in just a minute. And then we also have looks like Rayleigh Carter. She said, "Let's go Eagles," supporting my boyfriend number 22, which is, I believe, Basil Gunter, correct? So that's cool.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, one of our favorites on the team.
For sure.
We were talking, really talking about him earlier. So thanks for checking in. Continue to check in, folks.
Yeah,
we
love
enjoy it, and we'll continue to interact with you. Gordy, I want to let you talk. I've done all the talking so far.
Talk away.
We've got. I can talk to a tree if I have to. But 8 minutes left to go in this halftime break.
No.
Tell me what you saw in the first half, and then also tell me what you would be saying in the locker room right now if you were Coach Jones.
Right, and I appreciate it, Cole. What I would see, the main thing that we saw coming out in this game is just the tenacity, of Tulsa Hale Rangers. What I really love to see is a team that doesn't take, the record, for, example or anything. They weren't really worried about, how tough Del City was. They came out ready to play and ready to win, regardless of the field conditions and regardless, of all the hype behind the Del City Eagles. Tulsa Hale came out, with no fear, and that's what you really got to do when you're playing against a team of such a high caliber. But like you said before, they came out and they kind of caught Del City off guard just a little bit, and by doing that, like I said before, with the weather conditions coming in the way they did, Del City, they try to get off to the same start that they usually had, and I think before they just really thought that, eventually we could kind of catch up. We can kind of get back to normal. Once the weather died down, you see Del City was able to settle in and get back to normal. But, yeah, what we saw a tough Nathan Hale team come out here, with precision, able to get, the quarterback. I'm going to make sure I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Jordan, is it Jordan Dorian?
DeRoyne. I'm sorry.
Yes. Jordan DeLoyne. Sorry about that.
DeRoyne.
Able to get Jordan DeRoyne. I don't know why I cannot pronounce that correctly.
It's all good.
Golly.
I've been there.
Goodness gracious. But like I said, able to get DeRoyne involved in the game. And like I said, we can see that he is the difference maker, clearly. And, Nathan Hale running this spread offense, able to air the ball out a lot, exactly, giving the Del City Eagle defensive backs, something new. They really, have seen a lot of passing attacks by a lot of different teams. We've seen from Collinsville, they actually had a quarterback that was pretty precise. But, with DeRoyne, you get a different look, a different form of an athlete. And like I said, they've been able to kind of come out, and keep Del City on their toes. But that second quarter, we've seen Del City able to get settled in, especially into that running game by getting Caleb Blackwolf involved, especially with the 3 touchdowns, but also able to balance it out with Rickland Holmes, getting some nice carries here and again. And, of course, Sincere Overton, able to air the ball out, with shorter routes, that we're going along with, especially since that first interception. They've kind of kept it like, really short and sweet, keeping that ball on the ground, but able to throw a lot of pitches, as far as a lot of hitch routes, a lot of out routes, and kind of keeping it simple. And that's what Del City really is going to probably, do throughout the game, try to keep the ball in their possession and try to keep the ball out of DeRoyne's hands. But, Del City is doing a really good job, of keeping that balance, as far as offense and defense is concerned, stopping the, Tulsa Hale in the backfield, doing what they have to do to stop the running game completely. But DeRoyne is a passer, so he is trying to air the ball out, and they will continue to do that throughout the game. But like I said before, the difference between the first and second quarter, Del City not settling in and not being prepared, in that second quarter actually just getting settled in and kind of doing what they came to do.
Gordy, I almost got caught up there for a moment watching their so Nathan Hale is shooting T-shirts up, and a couple of them have come up here pretty close to me.
Really?
And, just like kind of a –
it's like the kid in you.
It's like the kid in me just wants to take off and aggressively go get me
I'm
a
about
pink
to start
T-shirt.
waving my arms. It's us up here.
It's funny because I always make fun of those guys, like whenever you're watching a Major League Baseball game and you see people jumping and trying to like take a ball in front of a kid or something. And then it's like most people, when they do it, they realize like, oh man, I just took this away from the kid. Here you go.
Right.
That kind of thing. And so luckily I've never done that.
It's sad. I've seen some that you're like, are you kidding me? Like, really, is it that serious? And these adults, they will knock a kid over, for a foul ball, especially in the majors. In the majors, I've seen kids, poor guys get hurt. I've seen people get their lives saved.
I'll tell you right now, if Aaron Judge hits a home run to me and there's a little kid next to me and I don't know the kid.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry, kid. I'm taking that ball.
I'm sorry. I know.
We're going to wrestle over that one.
I'm sorry, kid. Yeah. Said, hit me up in the future. I'll split the proceeds. Aaron Judge, by the way, having had a heck of a year. Unfortunately, Yankees got beat out this year, but heck of a year. We witnessed some, great hitters this year, especially some great pitching in the major leagues as well.
Yeah, we talking about baseball, staying with Del City here. Blake Unruh, one of our producers for the home games, and he does a great job for us. He's a baseball player. That Del City baseball program, has gone through some pretty tough days.
Definitely.
And they are starting to turn things around.
Right.
They're putting a lot of effort into that program. I love to see it.
Same.
I really like what Del City is doing all the way around and all their athletics.
Right.
Basketball obviously has had a tremendous run. Coach Hatchett did a great job. And, now we're looking forward to what Coach Smith's going to do,
Definitely.
obviously.
Definitely.
There's going to be great things there. But I just think Del City has really turned things around all the way around. I've told you this, Gordy, multiple times, and why I appreciate what Coach Dunn started and what Coach Jones has done. I remember coming to games with my dad, and I've been coming to these Del City games for years because he graduated from Del City.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a point where I was like, man, we don't want to go to games anymore because there was no discipline, it seemed like.
Definitely.
On the sidelines, there was a lot of struggling with that. And it started, Gina Hale came in, it was a principal at Del City, did a great job. She's obviously retired now. And then Mr. G's now there, who does a great job, great guy. I mean, it's just been really good. John Kilty was a big part of that, my broadcast partner.
Right.
So really cool stuff at Del City. And so, folks, listen, we're just kind of rambling on right now, trying to buzz time. But 2 minutes left to go in this halftime break. We're going to take a break to regroup ourselves, and when we come back, we'll have some football for you. Keep feeding the chat on YouTube. If you have something to say, have a question for Coach Jones, you'll pick one, if it's good, to ask Coach Jones at the end of the ball game. So
give us something cool. Give us something nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay with us, folks. It's 21-0 Del City on top of the Rangers here in the we'll start the second half here shortly on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Yeah.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your
Last year,
ride.
35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Second half just about underway here. Del City 21, Nathan Hale 0. Second half starting here shortly. Want to tell you again about some of our sponsors. The one I want to start with is Precision by Nutrition. They were our countdown to kickoff sponsor. Appreciate them. Keyline Mag, our keys to the game sponsor. Our coin toss sponsor tonight was Bucks Flight Academy. DC Transmission was our starting lineup sponsor. And DC Transmission is the one I want to focus on tonight. Owned by Tom Fisher. He has been serving the community for 48 years. And I can tell you right now, if your car ever breaks down, hope it doesn't, but if it does, take it to him. He'll get you taken care of, and he'll be honest with you. That's the biggest thing about it. So that's pretty cool. Our replays tonight are brought to you by Triple Elite Screen Printing. Find world-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite Screen Printing. The kickoff that will start this half will be brought to you by the Del City Chamber of Commerce. And the halftime show is brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. And our first half sponsor was Whataburger on 15th Street in Midwest City.
Yummy.
And so now we'll pick up where we left off here in just a moment with some more sponsors. But I like to give them all a shout out before we come back.
No doubt.
I I like this YouTube thing, man. Michael Abbott says something again here. Talked about Mr. G played a big part in my, in my life at Del City. He definitely deserves all his flowers. That's cool. I love to hear that. You know, Cedric was talking about him being a really good guy too. So Mike, talking about you, Michael. So thanks for checking in with us.
Definitely.
Del City started with the football to start the ball game, so they will kick off from right to left, I believe. And Rickland Holmes has been doing the kickoff duties for Del City most of the season. I imagine he will be the one to kick it off here. It's turned into a beautiful evening here in Tulsa. It was nice and warm when we were driving in, and then when we got here it rained, it turned windy, kind of got nasty. Now it's a little bit muggy, but for the most part it's
a beautiful evening now.
Pretty nice, nice night, yeah.
So I imagine, Tulsa Hale will come out trying to get, DeRoyan going again. First possession, of this half. So we'll see what they got going. I'm really kind of excited to see if, they can get a good scoring drive going and make this more of a game. But I'm seeing Del City, really looking to lock it down. And I imagine, what Coach Jones might have had to say during that halftime to some of the guys, making sure these guys come out locked in. We've seen that car a lot today, Colt.
Man, you read my mind. We have heard that car. It makes me jump every time. He needs to go see DC Transmission. Is what he needs to do.
Does. He
That's
does.
a loud car. I don't know if you could hear it at home, folks, but my goodness. He must live in this neighborhood right here behind the stadium. So
he might have a kid on the team. He's just driving by. He didn't want to pay to get in.
The stadium is located at East Central High School. So it's actually right next to East Central. They share it, does Nathan Hale, with East Central. It's a nice stadium.
It's a nice stadium. I played here as a kid, back in high school. Couple of hits, a few of them.
Against East Central, right?
East Central and Hale.
Okay.
Right. We played them pretty much my sophomore and my junior year.
How good was Nathan Hale when you played them?
They were pretty good. They had a really good quarterback. Cannot remember what his name was, but they were pretty good. We were able to beat them all, every time, but like I said, they had a pretty good squad. Tulsa East Central, same thing. Tulsa East Central always had just a plethora of athletes, really, as far as direction goes, you never really know. But like I said, they always had a really good team, just a tough, hard-nosed team on both Hale and both East Central.
T. Smith on YouTube said, I graduated in 08 from Del City. Such a full circle moment to have my son out there. If you would, let me know who your son is.
Definitely.
Let me know your full name.
Right.
And we'll get you a little further shout out. Appreciate you checking in.
Nothing like seeing your kid out there, especially when you get to watch, on a great app like this. And, of course, being in person, I never try to miss any of my kids' games. And then seeing them on the field is just another thing.
Line drive kick. It's going to bounce, and a perfect kick. It'll bounce right next to the sideline at the 9. Has to be received. A nice shifty return by number 3 for Nathan Hale. That is, I believe, Niza Abraham. Nice looking athlete.
Nice looking athlete. Of course, they look like they got just a really great amount of speed. Like we said earlier, Hale, possesses. But, of course, great punt, great kickoff by Rickland Holmes on that one, able to pin him deep and give Del City, great position on defense.
This third quarter tonight brought to you by our good friend Bobby Lewis with Bobby Lewis Insurance. Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and in Del City. Give Del City's office a call at 405-670-3665. What happened, Gordy? I missed it. I was reading.
Woo! Rickland Holmes able to get in the backfield really quickly. The handoff, barely got that handoff off before Rickland Holmes was in the backfield, able to stuff that one for a loss. Came in, just with some fire and some intensity, to say the least.
That's exactly what Coach Jones wanted from his guys to start the second half.
Right. You got to come out and you got to really show these guys, kind of take that confidence away, take that air out of the ball, show them, Del City, they are full of athletes. And when you come up to Tulsa, you really got to show these Tulsa schools, what it's like in Oklahoma City.
DeRoyan, quick snap out of the gun, being rushed immediately from behind by Rickland Holmes, and he's sacked at the 4-yard line. Boy, Rickland Holmes looked like prime Michael Parsons or DeMarcus Ware shooting out of a cannon to make that sack. Now, there's a flag in the secondary. It'll be at the 25-yard line. It was thrown late. So we'll have to check that flag. If the play holds, it's going to be third down and a long way to go. Boy, Rickland Holmes, he came out of the third quarter ready to go.
I was about to say, I have no idea what Coach Jones said to the team, but Rickland Holmes has come out with some straight, intense fire, and I love to see that. Getting in that backfield, making the quarterback pay. I think he maybe took the air out of DeRoy on that one.
I think so. Glad to see DeRoy back up. They
Definitely
waved off the penalty, so I've seen a lot of that this season.
I was wondering what that flag was about. It was so deep, in the secondary. I really wasn't sure if that was a holding.
DeRoy in play action in his own end zone, throws a screen out that is caught at the 5 and taken to the 10. Avoids a couple tacklers, and look out now. This is really close to a first down. In fact, the receiver ran into the marker. Coach Jones is really upset because I think that's going to be good enough for a first down. Wow.
Definitely. Nice old job on the screen by DeRoy, able to run that play. This is probably the third time that these guys have been able to run that. Should have been probably stopped in the backfield, but they were able to get away and break free, to get that almost a first down, not quite. But like I said, able to break free, create that amount of space. But the main thing is these guys got to wrap up.
They did not give them the first down. They marked it short. So looks like Hale's going to go for it. 4th down and 1 at their own 25-yard line. You know what? I like this. What do you have to lose?
I know, and I was just thinking the same thing. It's down 21-0. You've been having a lot of success running the ball. Let's see if they can get a good push here.
DeRoy going to go out of the gun, though, and going to be a false start. They were trying to do a hard count to get Del City to move, and instead backfired. I think they're going to move them backwards 5 yards. Now you probably will go ahead and just punt this football away.
Yeah, that'll kill you. I think they may have been trying to get Del City to jump, but unfortunately they faked out their own self.
All right, so the punt unit will come out. Clayton, the punter, has had a couple really good punts tonight. The first two were terrific. Let's see if he can get another good one off here.
Right.
4th and 6, 10:06 left to go in quarter number 3. 21-0 our score. Got a couple familiar names here. Walter Franklin has a relative checking in, says, let's go Eagles, number 4. Kerry Blackwolf says, let's go Eagles. Go, baby, Caleb Blackwolf. Blackwolf, I got to tell you, Caleb Blackwolf, as far as a career he's put on at Del City, he's still got another year.
Yes.
He's one of my favorite players that I've ever broadcasted.
Same.
Love watching him play.
Such a dynamic player. My son and I, we actually have a lot of conversations about Caleb when we watch this return.
Yep, this is Nicholas Holmes, who's been a great player this season. Big return inside the 30 to the 26-yard line.
Great straight run by Nicholas Holmes on that one. Of course, showing great athleticism, great speed, great, way to get outside that edge, and great pickup on the around the 25-yard line for Del City. Great field position on offense. But like you said, Caleb Blackwolf, just to kind of go back and double on that one, one of the players that I kind of actually have my son watch, and kind of get a lot of, from my son is a freshman in high school, but, even though Caleb is, just a couple of years older, he just has so many dynamic moves, such great skill along with, the rest of the Del City Eagles. But like you said before, just one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah, I do have a Ranger down here on the play, so we'll keep it here for just a moment. Hopefully everything's okay there. Down around the 20-yard line. Tabitha Smith said her son is Jaden Rogers. He's a sophomore on the team.
All right.
Yeah, Jaden, we saw him last week. And
we did.
He looked like a pretty nice-looking athlete. Wears number 88,
right.
And he's still a young player, going to continue to get better. You know it. That's pretty cool. Like to see that.
Del City's got a really good, tons of young, talent on this squad. I'm kind of excited to see, what they have, coming next year. Not to rush this year at all, but they just really got a lot of depth, and especially, in the freshman class as well. So really good. It's exciting to see what Del City brings.
Ranger's able to get back to his feet. Happy to see that. So we'll keep it here. 9:53 left to go in quarter number 3. This third quarter, again, brought to you by Bobby Lewis Insurance. Del City's offense will take the field with good field position after the good return from Nicholas Holmes. Sincere Overton and Rickland Holmes will be in the Eagle backfield together. Sincere Overton on the near side. Quincy Hill, it looks like Walter Franklin, thank you, on the far side. Sincere looking to the Eagle sideline for a call. Plenty of time on the play clock. Claps his hands, takes the snap, gets it to Rickland Holmes. Rickland fights his way forward inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Pickup of about 3.5.
Nice short gain on the read.
Del City now, they still have not really taken a lot of downfield shots passing.
No.
You have to wonder if they'll do that at some point. I think it's healthy for Sincere to get some of those looks.
Definitely. You really not, you got to get that arm going. I think before, like you said, they had to kind of get a game plan to probably start out a little bit differently. But having so much success, keeping the ball on the ground. Hale's doing a really good job of stopping them in the first half, but they're kind of, able to gap them and get that dive working, in their advantage. And they've kind of really taken advantage, of that, these last few quarters. But like I said before, and like you said, I really like to see Sincere get that ball out a little bit, and be able to kind of utilize some of these receivers. But I can understand, if the coaches kind of want to keep it simple this game.
3rd and 2. Del City brings Caleb Blackwolf into the ball game. A couple guys in the backfield in front of Sincere. Going to hand it to Blackwolf. Blackwolf will get the first down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line into the red zone. Bail bonds by Tamra sponsors our red zones this year. She's going to have a lot of them because Del City finds themselves in the red zone quite a bit with this offense. If you find yourself in a bad situation, hopefully you don't.
Right.
Bail bonds by Tamra can help you out.
Definitely.
Del City running a tight formation again, almost like they just want to go ahead and play some smash mouth football.
Right.
Running left, though, is Sincere Overton. Blackwolf gets a block in front of him, and it's a good block as Overton will work his way down inside the 2. Flag comes down towards the end of the play by the far side line official.
Not sure if we have a face mask or if we have a holding on that outside edge. But once again, good run by Sincere Overton.
Yeah, the flag is thrown at the 4. I think it's going to be a hold on Del City. There is a conversation about it, though. Still a conversation. Let's see.
Oh, you're right.
It's a hold. Here we go. That'll move Del City back.
Not really sure who the hold was on, Colt, but.
Yeah, I don't know. Coach Jones is wanting to know the same thing. I mean, I know they couldn't have called it on Blackwolf because that was not a hold.
Exactly, and that's what I was kind of wondering. Once he curved on that edge, was it one of the inside,
exactly.
linemen? But
it's the only person it could have been.
Right.
Pancaked his guy, and there was no grabbing whatsoever. So interesting.
Must have been a jersey grab.
Going to run the same play to the other side this time, and Sincere Overton going to go untouched into the end zone for another Eagle score. Making a 4-possession lead for Del City as Blackwolf and Overton have a pretty good little celebration together with 8:06 left to go in quarter number 3. Del City will send out the kicking unit to go ahead and try to make this 28-0.
Phenomenal patient run by Sincere Overton. I mean, just following that convoy, behind Caleb Blackwolf and the other 2 offensive linemen. I mean, just great decisive run to that outside edge. Of course, they've just really had a lot of success running on that outside and getting it up the middle. But like we said before, Del City keeping it on the ground and keeping it simple, but able to make a great push for a score.
High kick, that is good. 28-0 our score with 8:06 left to go in the third quarter. We'll be right back. You're watching Eagle Football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Rickland Holmes set to kick it off. It's a Del City Chamber of Commerce kickoff. Remember, with the Del City Chamber of Commerce, that if you're a small business owner in the Del City area, they are the person to get with. They'll help you, kind of build your business a little bit as this kick bounces. It was a dangerous return as it'll be down around the 13-yard line. A lot of people checking in on YouTube tonight. I love it.
Love it.
Even some Ranger fans checking in.
Let's check in. Everybody. We want to hear it. We want to hear it.
We appreciate you giving us a view. That's all I care about. We'll just leave it at that.
Right.
8:01 left, and
nice return. Quick return by Daniels. Almost got over his head. Almost got loose from him, and almost created a turnover. But he was able to kind of come along back, with that ball and get possession, giving Tulsa Hale the possession on the 11-yard line, and giving Dale City, the Eagles, great position on defense once again.
This is where the Dale City defense usually.
We can see ears pinned back. We got 5 across right now. Looks like everybody's going.
This is where it's not fun.
No, exactly.
DeRoyan does a nice job of avoiding a couple tacklers.
Just nowhere to go.
Yeah, there's just nowhere to go. Takes himself out of bounds. There's a Ranger down again. This is what you don't want to see.
Right.
As this game starts to get further out of hand, Dale City, like you said, starts to pin their ears back a little bit. They become more aggressive, almost like Wolverines, man. They really are coming after you.
Right. And that's what you got to do. You got to bring those claws out, so to speak. But Dale City is doing a really good job, and I think the intensity has to be turned up just a little bit. We are going to kind of go, going into the third quarter kind of deep here, and you really don't want to give any confidence to the Tulsa Hale Rangers.
Christian Matthews was the player shaking up for Tulsa Hale. Glad to see that he was able to get off. He's actually had a nice game tonight.
Right.
Done a good job on both ends for the Rangers. 2nd down and 13 for Hale. It's a quick pass out of the backfield. Oh, man, Gazel Hunter going to get an unsportsmanlike penalty on that. That unnecessary roughness is what we'll call it. He didn't have to light the player up is what the officials will say. Back in the old days, Gordy, back when you and I played, that was clean. That's what you wanted. But nowadays, you just can't do that.
You just can't do it. And then the receiver, he didn't have any possession of the ball. He didn't even get a hand on the ball. So, automatic penalty, that's what I said. It's just a typical, it's just one of those things. You kind of want to put a hat on him, but at least make sure that they touch the ball before you, issue that hit. He looks like Coach, Jones is arguing that a bit as well, and I can understand, the frustration.
Well, you know what? They actually picked up the flag.
They did.
That is the white. You know what that is, Gordy? That's a white hat that's probably been doing this a long time.
Right.
And he maybe said there wasn't enough contact. He tried. There was some nasty intentions with that hit, but I think that what the white hat is saying is it did not connect.
Right, and he didn't destroy him. He could have destroyed him and hurt him pretty bad, but he did, and the ball got away, and it was almost, uncatchable as well. So he barely, put a piece on him, but it was late. But like you said, it just wasn't as, violent. So he picked that flag up.
3rd and long for the Rangers. Back to pass is DeRoyan. In his own end zone, under all kinds of pressure. He's running for his life, and he's doing a good job of it. He's actually able to get himself out of the end zone. Now he's going to look to throw, and it's incomplete. Good coverage from Caden Johnson in the secondary. But, man, that was a big-time play from DeRoyan.
Right.
I thought for sure that was going to be 2 points for the Eagles.
He was almost dead in the water. At the back, you can't even go any further back. He's running right on the line, able to use that speed to kind of break outside, to the left and get outside, to basically save himself from a safety. Dale City has a great, amount of speed on the defensive line, especially in the linebacker position. But, DeRoyan was able to use his speed and kind of get off. I really would have liked to see DeRoyan kind of keep that ball and go for more yardage, but he actually let that go. But he keeps the possession of the ball and, gives Hale the opportunity to punt that ball away. So good job by the quarterback.
Got some whistles blown. Looks like possibly a timeout by Tulsa Hale. That's exactly what it'll be. With 7:39 left to go in quarter number 3, Dale City on top, 28-0. And Hale will punt whenever we come back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Out of their own end zone is the Rangers. They'll have to punt it. It's a high short kick that will land at about the 32-yard line directly out of bounds. We'll see if that's exactly where they mark it. I think it probably will be, and it will. So Del City will have a good field position yet again, already up 4 scores. Still a lot of time left in this game. This third quarter has kind of gone by a little bit slow. Let's see if Sincere Overton comes back out. You know, it is one of those things a little bit, Gordy, where it's like, with Del City being up by 28, I would imagine they're going to wind up scoring more points.
Definitely.
Do you really want to give away a lot of film for future opponents? Del City's last 3 games this season are tough. You got at Tahlequah,
right,
home for Claremore, and then at Pryor.
Right.
So that's going to be tough. Here in a moment, I want to find out a Pryor and Claremore score. Maybe Jacoby can hook me up with that. Sincere going to go deep. Here's the throw. We were just talking about it. It's a deep ball. That is incomplete, but I think there's going to be a flag for defensive holding.
Definitely. On that hitch and go route, Franklin would have been able to break away, but defensive back able to get a little bit of the jersey and hold on just a little too long on that one, so he will get that holding penalty. But you can see Del City using that hitch and go, like we said before, trying to wonder what they were going to do coming out on this next, drive. But we can see Coach Jones is really kind of wanting to stay with what he said earlier, trying to keep that same balance and consistency with the offense and letting Sincere air that thing out just a little bit before, you take these guys out. And like you said, you really don't want to give away a lot, but at the same time, you really don't want to sub in these second-teamers just yet because you still got DeRoy on the field. And Tulsa Hale, they are a talented group of athletes. So, like I said, we'll see if, Del City can get another score here on this drive.
Overton will hand this to Black Wolf. Black Wolf grabbed in the backfield. It's going to be a loss. If you're Black Wolf, you kind of just want to go down at that point.
Definitely.
Up by 4 scores, no need. Just go down. The only thing you can really do in that case is maybe either A, fumble, or B, even worse,
just go down. Just go down.
So, yeah, just go down. I think that might be what a coach is going to tell Caleb as he goes to the sideline. Love the effort. As a coach, you're like, hey, great effort, love it. But right there, go ahead and just go down because we don't want a turnover or for you to get hurt. So Del City loses yards on that play. That has been the one struggle tonight for Del City. Their offensive line has been a little inconsistent getting pushes up front.
Right. Tulsa Hale is so tough and so quick on the front end. They're not really giving Del City a chance, to make that push. And when we're standing up, good completion by Franklin. Oh, I'm sorry.
To Josiah Chester. Flag comes down. That's going to be a face mask as Josiah Chester will go into the end zone for a score. He was tackled late as well. He's okay. Pops up. I think that touchdown's going to count. Although Tulsa Hale's coach thinks that might not be the case. He's asking for a hold on Del City. Let's wait for the call.
Seeing Chester go out of the game now, so.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Gordy, if they call a face mask, I would be a little surprised. It did not look to me like it was a face mask.
Okay, so it looks like they are going to.
It did look like it was close. It might have been. I may be wrong, but it did not look like the defender did it. But I think that's the call because they're talking to Coach Jones asking about it. So touchdown's good. Face mask.
Yep,
that's
you're
exactly what it is. Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff is what they will have. So Del City 34-0 after that Josiah Chester score. Sincere Overton with the quick little hitch pass, and Sincere did the rest.
Good job. Good carry by Chester on that one, of course.
Snap down. Kick up. Kick is short. That one is no good. 34-0 our score. When we come back, we'll check back up with you here on the YouTube chat here in just a moment. We're going to take a break real quick. 34-0 our score on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. because your success is our success.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. 34-0 our score, 6:35 left to go in quarter number 3. Been a long third quarter as Rickland Holmes is about to have a Del City Chamber of Commerce kickoff. That last score was Josiah Chester receiving the ball from Sincere Overton, and that scoring recap brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking, where if you go in there and use the word pancake, you'll get 10% off all purchases. This kick is kicked deep. Boy, a booming kick from Rickland Holmes. It'll be a touchback. Might be the first touchback in the air.
I was going to say.
On the season. Boy, that was a big-time kick.
He's starting to look like a professional out there. He does it all anyway, so not surprised in the least bit by this kid. Great kick by Rickland Holmes. Let's see what Del City can do on the Del City, defense. I mean, they've been just, pretty much stopping Hale at will. Hale's not really been able to move the ball, past the halfway marker. But let's see if they can try to get something going on this drive. We sit at 34-0.
We have Chris Hobson, shout out number 10, Cam Digert, and number 57, Devin Joseph. Hi, Chris. Thanks for checking in. Inez Diaz. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say your last name. I'm so sorry. It looks like it's Diarson, I hope. Touchdown. Yeah, Eagles. Thanks for checking in. Then we've also got, looks like some family from Tavion Robinson checking in. This is going to be a pass deep down the field. Caught. Great throw to the 38-yard line for a first down.
Good job. Good pass by DeRoy. Not the first completion of the night, but great completion. But, nevertheless, to Abraham, able to get that, on that outside edge. Really quick, decisive pass, precise, to say the least. Able to move that for the first down. That's exactly what Hale's going to have to do. Playing against Del City, they really haven't been able to really get anything going. But, and actually put a dent in this game, these guys are going to have to get more completions.
Want to mention Tavion Robinson was actually our player of the game last week.
Right.
He had a really nice ball game. He's going to get a trophy. I've been in touch. We're going to get him a trophy. So
great performance last
another
week. Another
deep ball. This time it's intercepted. Intercepted by Walter Franklin. Walter Franklin off and running. Not going to be caught. Touchdown, Del City. Walter Franklin with his first pick six of the year.
Great job.
Oh, there's a flag down.
Oh.
Coach Jones wants to know what that is. He's not happy about it at all. I didn't see the flag even get thrown, Gordy, to be honest with you.
Not really sure exactly what that was. Could have been an illegal block in the back, but the interception happened so fast. If anything, the players may have just ran into each other.
And got another conversation here.
It's kind of one of those bang-bang plays on an interception like that. Everybody's just kind of turning around as quickly as possible. So, of course, as a blocker, you're going to do everything that you can, getting that arm out, and if anything, possible, you probably just put those hands right in the player's back. So if we get illegal blocking on that one, wouldn't be surprised by seeing that one.
So there's a conversation being had with Coach Jones with the Rangers. Got two Coach Joneses tonight, one on each side.
Right.
Jesse Jones, the coach for the Rangers. He's a big-time football coach, folks,
right.
Just so you know.
Very nice guy. Very nice guy.
Spent some years over at Tulsa Union, which tells you he's a pretty good coach. Touchdown counts. So the pick six will count after the play. Personal foul on Del City, so it was a late hit is what they called. So at least the touchdown counted. Don't know who did the late hit. I missed it. It must have been behind the play, obviously, Gordy said.
Definitely.
We wouldn't have been looking back there anyway. Walter Franklin gets his first pick six of the night. How about that for Walter? That's pretty cool. 40-0 now the score as this one's starting to get away.
Used to seeing Franklin. Ooh, just a little short.
A little short.
Used to seeing Franklin on the offensive side of the ball, making a dent and making, really good moves at receiver. But great job at, as a defensive back, able to make that interception and return it all the way to the promised land for the touchdown.
We'll take a break. 40-0 our score. Del City starting to pour it on a little bit. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got Hale? Call Cantrell.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Another Del City Chamber of Commerce kickoff here from Rickland Holmes. Having quite a few of those tonight. Rickland with a line drive kick that's going to be fielded at the 29. Remember, that penalty of 15 yards is what gave this opportunity. The kicker, Rickland Holmes, who just so happens to be one of the best linebackers in the state, makes the tackle in Eagle territory to the 42-yard line. Solid return.
By Abraham.
By Abraham, yeah. That's probably their most explosive player outside of their quarterback, DeRoyne.
He's got a tremendous amount of speed, as you're seeing here, of course, and as well as, Abraham at number 9. These guys got a, really good amount of speed, as we said earlier, but, doing, all that they can to try to, help this Tulsa Hale football team out, and this is really all you can do. So, like I said, I'd really like to see these guys get involved in the offense just a little bit more, but great return by Abraham.
So now let's see if Hale's offense can get on the board. They have scored some points this year.
Right.
They beat Tulsa Memorial, I think, like 65-6.
They did.
Something like that. And then they also scored 25 points on Claremore last week, which we're going to work on trying to get you a score for Pryor and Claremore. Maybe if Jacoby can help me find that. Jacoby might look and see if he can get you a score real quick. That's a big game in district. Both those teams undefeated. So one of them has to have a loss tonight at the end of it. As pressure coming and a sack brought down by Joseph in the backfield. Devin Joseph with his first sack of the night.
Man.
That's a big loss to the 45-yard line.
Coming through like a headhunter, Devin Joseph on that one. About scared the bejesus out of DeRoyne on that one. He didn't see him coming. He didn't see him coming at all. But I said, great job by Joseph on that one.
And I love it. Walter Franklin's family is lighting up the YouTube chat. I love it. I love it.
Then we got some fans.
They should be proud. Walter, that was a nice play. Walter's been good all year.
He has. One of my favorite players to watch. Of course, one of the most talented guys here on this Dale City Eagle football team. But Dale City, decided to stay in that 4-3 set again. But like I said, they're really now settled in the ball game, getting a really good push on the defensive line, able to, free these linebackers up, that way they can stick to the receivers, and carry, some of these middle routes.
All right, so we do have a score for you here. Is Nathan Hale going to call a timeout? Let's see. Pryor, 30. Claremore, 14. Wow.
Whoa.
So Pryor might be the real deal. Pryor has been pretty impressive this season.
Yes.
And they're continuing to impress. So we'll take a quick break, folks. We'll come right back. 40-0 our score here from Tulsa. Del City on top on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us.
This is why you need our number in your phone.
This could be you!
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Second down and long coming up for the Rangers. It's 40-0 here from Tulsa. DeRoyne out of the gun. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Takes off running immediately to the right. Now pitches it out. Not much going. Good job by Gylan King. He was one of the ones out there. The defensive end's job, don't let anything outside. King didn't let that outside. Nice job.
Nice job. They try to go ahead and run that option and stuff. Not the first time that they try to go along with that, but, such down and distance, really kind of caught me off guard. I thought they might try to, pass out of that option, but good job by Dale City stopping them, very short, not able to get anything. Leaves them at a third and almost, 3rd and 20 perhaps. But like I said, Dorney's doing a really good job of controlling the offense, but you can see that Tulsa Hale is really just trying to get something going. And by sticking with this option, I think they're just trying to use that speed on the outside because they've had the most success there on the outside edge. But just like I said before, Del City's just really got too much speed.
DeRoyan claps his hands, and before he's able to make something happen, a flag comes out, stops the play. That's going to be a delay of game. That'll back up the Rangers a little bit more, make this more difficult. Del City defensively was sending basically 4 deep right there. They had Nicholas Holmes, Caden Johnson, Caleb Blackwolf, and Walter Franklin all playing about 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, and just making sure you protect it, don't let them get the first down. And so, if I'm the Rangers, you might – now it makes it tough because Del City gets downhill so fast.
Definitely.
Probably what you want to run is a quick pass. Not what's going to happen here. It's going to be an immediate roll to the left. Flag comes out. Throw down the field. Caught. Nice job staying in bounds, setting his feet. Good throw again by DeRoyan, but I don't think it's going to count. I think they're going to get a hold. That flag was thrown pretty quick. The reception was made by Feeback Franklin.
Feeback Franklin.
Cool name.
Looks like the head ump is talking to Coach Jones at the moment. Let's see what this call will be.
You might decline this penalty because it's 4th down.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it gives them an opportunity to go ahead and go for it with a little bit more reasonable, but they still got to get the ball to the 32, do the Rangers, and the ball's still marked at the 47. So the penalty will be declined. I think that's probably – I mean, you could go either way. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But what you risk is if you accept the penalty and then you get a penalty on the next play, then it kind of changes things. So probably the smart call here is looks like the Rangers will go ahead and just punt it away. At this point, you start getting down 40-0. At the early stages of the game, the Rangers were in it. First quarter was tied at 0.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now it's like, hey, let's go ahead and, just play smart.
Exactly. And this will be, probably the best, field position that they've had to stop Del City, on that side of the field. Able to get that punt off.
High kick.
Ooh.
That will be down unintentionally at the 20-yard line. Let's see if Del City brings some young guys out. Wouldn't surprise me at some point here. Still a lot of time left in this game. We're in the 3rd quarter still, folks. This has been a really long quarter. 3:29 left to go. If Del City scores again, you might wonder if there's going to be a running clock at some point. You never know.
Trying to check out and see what Coach Jones is saying to the team. Looks like he's going to send the starters out one more drive. This will be a good chance. They have the full field to work with, starting at that 20. That'll kind of give them a chance to kind of spread it out. We'll see if they decide to go ahead and keep it on the ground or if they decide to kind of go along with some of those short routes, and kind of break it out on the outside.
Sincere Overton still in the ball game. Rickland Holmes as well. Looks like the starter's still out there for Del City. Sincere on a quarterback run. Started left, came all the way back right to the numbers, and he's taken down at the 30-yard line.
Not a lot of blocking on that one, unfortunately. So Sincere had to cut back, but able to get a good amount of yardage on that one. Able to get at least 5. It looks like maybe 6. A little bit more than I thought, but, good cutback to recognize for sure.
That is funny. They picked up 6 or 7 yards. It did not look like that was the case, but
we'll take it.
Yeah, that was it kind of snuck up on me a little bit. It looked like Sincere was going to be stuffed, and he was able to pick up quite a few yards. Got some whistles being blown here. I'm not sure what that's about. I thought for a second maybe a timeout. There was not one, so teams will stay out. 2nd down and 3 for the Eagles with a little over 3 minutes left to go in quarter number 3. 15 seconds on the play clock. Del City has time to get this one off. Still looking to the sideline, trying to get their play call. Overton will send Chester in motion from right to left, and that's exactly who they're going to throw it to. Chester gets out in space, 1st down, takes off running past midfield to the 48-yard line. That's where he's taken down. Eagles move the sticks again. I like that play call right there.
I do as well. Love the screen pass, especially when you got such speed, with Josiah Chester and Walter Franklin, Caleb Blackwolf. So much speed on that outside. You're able to get that and get this guy the ball in space, and he's able to create something with it, moving the ball across the midfield point at that.
Hand off to Rickland Holmes. Rickland Holmes First down, still running to the 30. Look at the speed from Rickland Holmes. Rickland Holmes into the end zone. Touchdown, Del City.
There he is. That kid. He's so good. He's so good. So good. I mean, able to break on that outside edge. I mean, I'm not even sure if he really got touched on that one, but just great cuts, to the left and to the right, by Rickland Holmes, able to break out. They ran that play quite a few times, but having a lot of success, but great job by Rickland Holmes.
Man, Rickland is, you see just how fast he is right there. And he's a linebacker. That's what's scary.
Just tough.
That's what the New Mexico Lobos like about him. I love that he's going to New Mexico, by the way. We'll talk more about that here in a minute. We're having conversations as this extra point is up, and that one is drilled. It is good. 47-0 our score. 2:42 left to go in quarter number 3. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Del City on top 46-0. It should be 47, right? It says 46 on the scoreboard. I think it's actually 47-0. 2:42 left to go in quarter number 3. It's a high kick, caught at the 29-yard line, and the return will go to the 38-yard line. A big hit takes the Ranger out of bounds. That's where the Ranger offense will take over. So, Gordy, we'll go ahead and do a trivia question. So go ahead. You mentioned it. I got the answer. So
all right.
I won't obviously say the answer, but go ahead. What's the trivia question tonight? If we're listening at home on YouTube, let's see if you guys can guess it.
All right, we're going to give you the first trivia question. Let's see who are our smarty pantses out there. Who would be the head coach of the Del City Eagles' first championship game?
Yeah. So when they won state, who was the head coach?
Who was the head coach of Del City Eagles' first
Let's see who gets
championship game?
I bet you someone gets it pretty quick. My dad will probably text me pretty quickly and let me know. Back to pass. Now it's going to be a run, and there's nowhere to go. Good tackle by Draquan Wright.
Good stop by Wright on that one, but a little frustration by the quarterback, just not anywhere to go. Del City is just so fast and so quick on the defensive end. They're, trying this spread offense, is really, kind of giving them fits. When you're spread out, you're really kind of giving the linebackers, a way to kind of pin their ears back, like we said before, not really giving the quarterback any room to breathe, nevertheless anywhere to throw.
I'm going to say the question one more time if you're on YouTube. Who was Del City's head coach in 1976 when the Eagles won the state championship? Going to be a draw play, handoff up the middle. Did not go anywhere. Good job by the Eagle front yet again. I think that was, who was that, Gordy?
Oh, we got number 52, of course. Mark Bowles on the stop for that one. Mark Bowles the second, might I add. And, of course, Mr. Rickland Holmes comes through, with the assist. But, once again, Del City able to make, such quick penetration, getting to the backfield very quickly, not giving Tulsa Hale any room to breathe. And I said before, Del City right now is so comfortable. They've got their ears pinned back. They're kind of relaxed. And this is, where you kind of make your name is by stopping, any of these teams in the fourth quarter.
Low snap. Fielded by DeRoy. Now he's going to throw it right. Perfect throw, because if that ball wouldn't have been, it would have been picked off by Draquan Wright.
I thought it was almost picked off, Colt.
It almost would have been. It was caught. The 4th down for the Rangers. They'll send the punt unit out yet again. Under a minute to go in quarter number 3. The score right now sits at 47. We're going to have to go by what the actual scoreboard says. It says 46-0, but it should be 47-0.
Should be 47.
I don't think that point's going to really matter at the end of the day, with all due respect.
Hey, you never know.
Still waiting on an answer for – nope, we got it. We'll get it in just a second.
All
we got
right,
it.
all right.
4th and 11. Punt is up. It's a bouncing punt. Nicholas Holmes going to field it off the bounce, and he's going to – oh, man, boy. If he'd have been able to clear that last tackler, he'd have been off and running.
He tried.
Looks like there is a flag down here at the 44. That might be extracurricular stuff.
Just a little bit after the play, just a little roughhousing going on between those two, getting a little fiery.
Check it.
Just something you really don't want at this point in the game. It's just kind of unnecessary. But it gets a little chippy when you get a score like that.
Personal foul on Del City. Boy,
Right.
Coach Jones is not going to like that.
It's a little bit too much after the play. I said you can block, but you don't have to get overly, aggressive when it's come to that. Especially, you're just putting your team in bad position, to say the least.
All right, so our trivia question was, in 1976, when the Del City Eagles last won a state championship in football, who was the head coach? We got an answer, and it is the correct answer. It is Rayleigh Carter who gets it. She says it was Henry Manning, which was correct.
Great job.
Coach
Great job.
Manning, legend here at Del City. It's pretty neat for me. At Deer Creek, I graduated from Deer Creek, and so when I was at Deer Creek, our girls basketball coach, who won multiple state titles, she was one of the best coaches, maybe the best all-around coach in Deer Creek history, was Totsie Manning. Well, her father-in-law was Henry Manning.
Really?
She married his son.
See?
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. But yeah, good job on that answer.
Yeah, that was a good answer.
Appreciate that. We're going to have to make them harder next time.
We'll do this once a week. Deep ball that is thrown out, looking for Quincy Hill. Just a little bit too far out of the reach for Quincy. Boy, you see the arm strength, though, for Sincere. Didn't look like he really even put that much into that throw.
No.
That ball went a pretty good ways.
With the flick of the wrist, I mean, we've seen so many things, as far as talent-wise from Sincere Overton. I was about to call him this kid, but I won't, I'll show him more respect than that. He's, shown a lot of consistency. We said before, we knew that Del City would kind of try to stretch the offense just a little bit in the later ends, even though they're up by, quite a few points, but you still want to get Sincere going just a little bit, get that arm, keep it hot, keep it fresh, let him see what he can do.
Rickland Holmes, last play of the third quarter, gets the first down past the 30 to the 33-yard line. Third quarter comes to an end, making sure there's not a flag down. Does not appear there is. So that'll do it for the third quarter. 46-0, I think. Should be 47, but it's 46 on the scoreboard to go. Or excuse me, that's the score in the ball game. We'll have one more quarter left to play on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Quarter number 4. Sincere Overton back to pass on first down. Getting some pressure, takes off running. There goes Sincere and Caleb Blackwolf. Big block. Sincere Overton still running inside the 50 to the 40. And going to be brought down at the 35-yard line.
Tough run by Sincere Overton on that one. Showing no mercy. I like the way he broke up through the middle, able to kind of get out to that right side edge. And, of course, break a few tackles. And to say the least, Dale City is, like I said, really seeing what they can do to try to keep the ball in Sincere Overton's hands, kind of get him going, keeping him going, getting that practice in. He's missed quite a few games, of course, to start out the season. So this is really what you want to do, get this guy comfortable, use these plays and use this time to kind of utilize and try to, stretch him out just a little bit and keep him warm, especially going into next week.
Sincere the snap. Hands this one off to Black Wolf, and Black Wolf met immediately in the backfield. Boy, great job by the defensive front for the Rangers. That has been, again, that is the one thing maybe from a fan's perspective that you might be a little worried about. Del City's offensive line has had some troubles tonight at times. And so that's something that, and it's good. It's a good thing you can find these things to build on and get better at, I would assume, right, Gordon?
Right. Especially, we've seen from Domick, number 66. I mean, when we going against guys with size, especially with speed and quickness, that's one of the things that Dale City really is going to have to kind of polish up, as far as kind of closing those gaps. You have such speed, you really don't want to give it up, especially, to guys like these. So we Sincere breaking out to the left as well.
Good tackle. Abraham makes the tackle on Overton. Abraham's been a nice player.
Definitely.
Coach Jones said before the game, like last week, with all due respect to Tulsa Memorial, there probably wasn't a player on that roster that could have started for Del City.
Definitely.
There are some for Tulsa Hale. This
Definitely.
team does have some really good players, and so there is a few that could start for this club. They're pretty good. They've got some good players.
And they haven't quit, and that's the thing that you really want to see from a team like this. There's no quit in them.
Right.
When you're down by such a score, you really kind of see a lot of coaches kind of folding. They're kind of throwing in the towel, but these guys have really kind of stayed in the game and, try to do all they can to, create these stops. So good job by Tulsa Hale on that end.
Overton, a quick pass to Josiah Chester. That was a dangerous pass. Josiah did a good job of stepping in front of it, making the catch, getting the first down to the 21-yard line. Almost in the red zone. I'd imagine Del City will wind up in the red zone. So we'll go ahead and give a shout-out to our red zone sponsor. It is Bail Bonds by Tamara. If you're ever in a predicament, Bail Bonds by Tamara can get you hooked up. She'll help you out.
No doubt.
Also need to give another shout-out to our fourth quarter sponsor. It's Bobby Lewis Insurance. Surprisingly great rates over at Bobby Lewis Insurance. Give him a call, see if he can help you out with cheaper insurance rates. Back to pass. Overton going deep. It is incomplete. Good job defensively. Looks like Del City was looking for the tight end. Who was that? Am I right? That was lined up at the tight end position. That was Caden Thomas.
Really don't get, doesn't really get a lot of passes, unfortunately. But, you love, the tight end dump, right over the top. It was actually a great pass by Sincere Overton. Like I said before, you can see that Del City is not really giving up the game plan. They're really trying to keep it going, as far as getting, Sincere involved in the consistency. But, like I said, you really don't see that tight end dump a lot, but it was open. But, as I said, great job by the defensive back, to come and reach their hand in there and break that one up.
Handoff to Oko up the middle, his first carry of the night. Good game.
First appearance of the game by Oko.
Close to a first down to the 11, and that's about where they needed to get the football. It might be just a tad bit short. It is. Bring up third down for Del City. 7.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Crazy earlier, we saw that Pryor was up 30-14 on Claremore. I kind of thought, I told you in the car earlier on the drive down here, Gordy, that I thought Pryor might be the real deal this year.
Right.
And it does look like that's the case. Handoff up the middle to Oko again. He'll get the first down inside the 10 to the 9.
Yeah, I can't wait to actually watch that game later on and see what they actually look like. I've kind of watched a few clips and seen a few stats from the team, but hadn't really got a chance to watch a full game of Pryor. So I'm actually looking forward to watching them, especially, it's kind of scouting for Claremore.
Yeah, try to grab a couple scores here for you, but the main one I really care about is that one. And now it is 44-14, Pryor all over Claremore.
Right.
Man, that's the last game of the season for Del City. It's at Pryor.
Right.
We'll have it on the network. That could be for the district.
That'd be something to look forward to for sure.
Ball to the corner, knocked away, incomplete. Intended receiver was Josiah Chester again.
Right. Good job by the Rangers. They're not quitting, and that's, like we said earlier, we really like to see that. Defensive backs not giving it up. Josiah Chester, one of the better receivers, in the 5A district. But Tulsa Hales, they're not, showing any mercy, and that's the thing. Don't give up on yourself, even though regardless of the score, like we said, you still want to stay in the fight.
I'm trying to think let's see. Yeah, Pryor is the last game of the season. Del City it goes at Tahlequah, home for Claremore, then at Pryor. I was making sure I had that right. Second down and 10 for Del City. Another handoff. This one to Oko, not going anywhere. That'll be no gain on the play. We'll pull up. I want to pull up Pryor's schedule and just kind of go through it as we've got an injured Ranger, but we will kind of go through it. They are 5-0 currently. They're going to be 6-0 most likely. Now, the score is now 44-20. Claremore just scored, but still, 24 points, a lot to come up with in one quarter. Pryor beat Salisaw 45-22. I think Salisaw is halfway decent this year. Catoosa 56-7. Glenpool 57-0. Will Rogers 63-18. Tahlequah 44-13. Tahlequah's a decent football team too.
Definitely.
And now putting it on Claremore pretty good. So again, Pryor very well could be the real deal.
Got some good football going on around the state. 6A, 5A, 4A across the board.
And we may go ahead and take a quick break. This might be one of our last breaks. So we'll be right back. You're watching Eagle Football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new...
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 3rd and 10. Sincere Overton out of the gun. This looks like an Overton run to the right. And he's going to take it outside. Getting a block from Rickland Holmes. He leads his way into the end zone for the score. Sincere Overton, I think that's his, 3rd touchdown of the night. That puts Del City up 52-0 according to the scoreboard.
Nice lead run by Sincere Overton, able to get to that right side, putting that shoulder down and able to bulldoze his way in past the goal line.
We are going to announce after the game who our Robert Kalsu Legacy Group Player of the Game will be. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have an interview after the game with head coach Robert Jones.
No doubt.
We're excited about that. We didn't get any of that last week, so looking forward to doing that this week with you. Right. We'll get the trophies to the players at school on Monday. Snap down, hold, good. Kick, good. Flag down as well. So we'll have to wait and see.
Maybe an offside penalty, maybe.
Came from the back.
Still waiting.
Well, the kick, I think, is going to count because both teams are already going off ready for a kickoff.
Definitely.
So.
That's what we all thought to have.
Waiting on the call here. Still waiting on it. Tulsa Hale, they're still out there. They're
right.
They're like, yeah, let's just go, dude. Let's just go ahead and get it on.
I said I'm not exactly sure what they are waiting on, but they'll get it figured out soon. Here we go.
They had too many men on the field. Did the Rangers? So there you go. Kick's good. 53-0.
So we're on.
Man, you gotta give Del City some credit. They scored 0 points in the first quarter, and since then they've gone off for 53 points.
Right.
Which is pretty good. You know, and to the Rangers' credit, this team came in and put up a fight early.
They did.
They were playing really, and they played hard all game. To their credit,
right.
They did not quit. Gordy, you kind of touched on that earlier. They've really made Del City earn everything they've gotten, which is nice. You
exactly.
like to see that.
The scoreboard can be a little deceptive, being 53-0 at the moment. But like you said before, they just haven't really given up, anything easily to Del City, and that's really what you want to see from any team, especially playing against a powerhouse like this, coming out with some fight, especially on your own home field. Try to do all you can to try to stop them. They haven't really been able to stop these guys from scoring, but that's beside the point. What they really got to do is stay in it and stay engaged and see what they can go into next week.
Onside kick. Well, folks, we've got possibly an emergency situation, so we're going to take a quick break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Sorry about that, folks. We got a false alarm there. We heard a vehicle, and I guess the police officers earlier tonight had already said something about it. There was a vehicle parked across the street, and when they started, it sounds like something completely different. So sorry if I alerted you there. I think everybody, the players and fans included, were a little bit nervous.
Got to stay on alert. Ranger deciding to keep it on the ground on this carry.
Two and a half minutes left to go. Sorry if I just scared everybody, folks. That's a mistake there. I think I'm getting text messages from people, so I apologize for that.
Oh, no, shoot.
53-0 is our score right now. Game coming to an end here. Deep ball thrown over the middle. It's intercepted. Intercepted at the 20 to the 15. Brought down there. Nice interception by Davion Oko, the sophomore. His first interception of the year.
First interception of the year, and great job at that. Way to cut off that route. It looks like that the quarterback was trying to, cut the cross, on that post route, but Oko was able to step in, pick that one off, and get a nice little return on that one. Great job and great turnover by the Del City Eagles.
Well, folks, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight on YouTube, everybody that's engaged with us. We enjoy that, and I think the players enjoy it. They can go back and listen to this. They hear a family member checking in. They're like, that's cool, So it is nice. We enjoy it. We appreciate it. We're going to start doing that more often. So if you want to watch the games on YouTube, you can check in with us, and we'll have a trivia question every week now moving forward. Gordy and I will come up with some, and if we can find somebody to sponsor it, who knows? Maybe we might start giving something away to the winner.
Right.
You never know. So here in just a moment, Gordy's going to head down on the sideline here and do an interview. Simmons in the game at quarterback for Del City. Hand off to Oko. Short game.
Getting to see both Okos tonight. That's a good thing.
And we will have enough time for – nope, that'll do it. That should be the end of the game, I think.
But great job today by the Del City Eagles on, both sides of the ball. Like we said before, hopefully going into next week they can kind of get something going on, the offensive line, and kind of create a little bit more push. But, great job of staying consistent, especially after a rough first quarter. Way to come out and, get something going. Good job by the Tulsa Hale, team by coming out and, competing and doing all they can to, give Del City the best game possible.
Last play of the game goes to number 21 for Del City, and that'll go inside the 10. That'll do it. Ball game over. Now, folks, Gordy's going to head down on the field and get an interview with Coach Robert Jones and also the player of the game. So give us one moment. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere. Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
All right, welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Gordy Jones heading down on the field. Folks, I want to just tell you real quick, the score final 53-0 Del City over Nathan Hale Rangers, but I will not be at the next game. So the next game will be against Will Rogers, also a Tulsa team. It's homecoming for Del City. It's a home game on a Thursday night, but I will not be the one doing the play-by-play. It will be Michael Stewart. He is the PA announcer for Del City this season. Michael has also done play-by-play throughout the Oklahoma Sports Network for Eisenhower last season, did a good job there. And then also he has done stuff. I've known Michael for a long time. He also worked in the past with the Oklahoma City Bounty Hunters back in the day. He worked a lot of different jobs. He's a sports guy, knows a lot about sports. He'll do a good job filling in for me. Appreciate him doing so, but did want to just give people that information so nobody's alarmed as to why I'm not here for any reason. So we're excited that he'll be able to help take over for 1 week, and then I'll be back for that Tahlequah game. And then those 3 games, man, are going to be tough. Del City's going to have at Tahlequah, home for Claremore, then at Pryor. And, hey, listen, Del City's going to have those last 3 games. They're going to be highly competitive, and they'll have to take care of business to get those wins. So a couple people saying thank you. Carrie Blackwolf said safe travels, everyone going home. Thank you, Carrie. Appreciate that. I want to say thank you also to Cedric and Jacoby Brosi, these 2 guys producing and working the camera. Tonight was a tough night for them. This again, we've said it a lot, but if you're just now joining us, this game actually we got really wet to start this game. So right when the kickoff started, I was looking at the radar, and a huge storm just blew through right at kickoff. 50-mile-an-hour winds, heavy rain, and we were set up outside. We weren't in the press box. The press box here is not big enough for us, so we had to set up outside. The one time we're outside, so all of our equipment, if you've ever seen our setup, we have quite a bit of equipment, all was getting wet. Jacoby saved the day. I mean, he just started finding random things in our box here, started covering things up, and Cedric was having to do that with the camera. So early, if it was a little fuzzy, that's why. And we had to shut our mics off for a little bit to put our headsets up because they were getting wet. So it was a fascinating start, to say the very least. But good thing everything worked out because those 2 guys. So we appreciate them. And now we're just waiting for our player of the game and waiting for Coach Jones here for an interview, and then we'll send it off the air and head back home here from Tulsa. Like we said earlier, Pryor was up 44-20 over Claremore, which, not that that's a surprise necessarily, but everyone was expecting that to be one of the top games in the state in 5A, if not the top game in 5A. And, boy, just an impressive win for Pryor. Pryor going to move to 6-0 if that holds up. I'm working on getting you a score here to check on it. But I'm going to take one last quick break here, and then we'll be back here with an interview on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us.
This is why you need our number in your phone.
This could be you.
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Coach Jones is going to grab the player of the game. We don't know who it's going to be yet. We actually, Gordy makes that decision. So we will find out if it will be, I don't even want to guess. I think I know who it's going to be, but we'll find out here in just a minute. Coach Jones is going to go grab that player of the game, and we'll get those interviews to you. Again, 53-0 our score. Del City over Nathan Hale tonight. Del City now moves to 3-0 in district play, and they will take on, for homecoming next week on Thursday night, they will take on Will Rogers of Tulsa. And that should be, with all due respect, that should be another win for Del City, much like this one tonight, or perhaps the one like last week. So Del City should be able to get a pretty good win over them. Give me one moment, folks. Gordy's calling me. We're going to check in and see what's going on down there. All right, Gordy, thank you, sir. We will send it down to Gordy Jones. It looks like Walter Franklin's going to be our player of the game tonight. He had a pick six, his first of the year. He also had a couple great catches. Walter, if you remember right, had a big play earlier in the season against Collinsville on a big return. So excited that he is going to be our player of the game, and just waiting for Coach Jones. Well, we start with the coach, so we'll get the coach in, and here we go. Send it down to Gordy Jones with head coach Robert Jones.
Gordy Jones here with the Oklahoma Sports Network. Got the great coach Robert Jones and Walter Franklin today, our player of the game. So we're going to do like a tandem double interview. First I'll start with Coach Jones. Start off a little bit rough, with the rain and the weather conditions. Of course, coming into a field away, it's a rough start. We talked about at the beginning of the game. We wanted to get off to a quick start. Tell me what you think about the beginning.
Well, man, it was a rough start. We took the ball because we want to get the ball, and we kind of want to get off. We want to get here outside the pocket and really get it outside the press pocket, throwing going. And he came out, he threw an interception. That's adversity, that's going to happen, but he needs to be smarter. He had the shorter route, but he got stingy. He threw the higher route and turned it over. Good thing is our defense responded, and we didn't give up points off the turnover, so that's what we want. But like I told the gentleman just right there when we talked at the end of the game, this is our 17th district game in a row that we won. So when we come, we're going to get everybody's best game. So I feel like we're going to get everybody's best game. And then when we come out just assuming we're going to win because we have the Del City on our helmet, and then you had everybody's best games, that's the kind of starts you're going to get. But I told them at halftime that we need to toughen up. I told Ricklin and Sincere that you need to play the game that you need to play. You're two of the better players in 5A, and they showed up. So anytime you get a 53-0 win, I want to be thankful for it, but just like I said last week, there's things that we have to fix if we're going to continue to progress forward and be the team we need to be.
I totally understand, Coach, and I agree. It was, like I said, such a great performance. Like you say, on the back end, when you start out, so rough, what are some of the things that you say to a team like that at halftime, when they don't start out the way that you want to and you want them to kind of play consistently?
Well, the one of the things we talked about all week is just being tougher. I don't see the toughness from this team that I think is going to elevate us to where we want our end of the season goals to be. So I've been challenging them all week. We got to be tougher. We got to be more physical. And then you come out and you get hit in the mouth like that by Tulsa Hale. So it kind of like, hey, are you guys listening? But to be able to see them respond and come out and play the way they did in the second, third, and fourth quarter, that shows me that we're maturing. We're 6 games into the season. We're on a 5-game winning streak. Like I said, that's 17 district games in a row. Guys like Walter Franklin are making big-time plays, and they're growing as we progress through the season. So I'm excited to see where we end up at.
Right. Appreciate your time, Coach, and great job by the Eagles again. Great job keeping these guys ready. Appreciate your time, and great job tonight, Coach.
Smart. Don't say nothing.
Hey. Walter Franklin, Gordy Jones, it's nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you, too.
Walter, it's been such a joy to see you involved with Caleb Blackwolf, with Ricklin Holmes, with Josiah Chester. You guys got some talent, to say the least, on offense. Tell me what it's like, being part of such a talented, highly touted receiving corps.
Man, it's a blessing, man. Honestly, I got all my guys with me. We all out. We all making plays, and it's all love at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
And, of course, what got you up here, great performances by you at the receiver, and we see that every week, but we know you play defensive back too, and it's one of my favorites, and you're a dog out there, and that's what we like to see. So quick, to the interception return that you had today, even on the tackling on the back end. You're doing a really good job of covering up receivers, covering up, as far as on the safety position and the corner position as well. Give me something, as far as what you look for, when you see a spread offense like Tulsa Hale.
When I see spread offense, I know the two receiver, he gonna try to go out. So I'm just thinking, I know our safeties is good, so I know he gonna stick man. So I'm just finna play man on this outside receiver. And I luckily did that.
That's it.
That pick. Yes, sir.
That's it. Just a smart player. You can see, you can tell on the ball field just what a smart ball player that you are. I enjoy watching it. My partner Cole, we all enjoy watching you guys, especially on the ball field. It's my pleasure, to congratulate you with the player of the game today. And I really want to tell you as a player, keep up the good work and keep on doing what you're doing. Really smart group of guys, especially on the offensive end. You guys got so much talent. But when you flip it to the defensive end, y'all some dogs out there. It's a whole different story. So, I always love to give the players a chance to shout out, some of the people that may have gotten them to this point, parents or whatever. Anything or anybody specifically that you would like to shout out tonight?
I like to shout out my mom, my dad, all the people that's watching me right now, and my team.
Hey,
yes, sir.
Hey, I appreciate your time. We'll definitely be keeping up with you. Good luck going into next week, and keep it up, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Walter Franklin, good job. Player of the game. Dale City. OSN, Gordy Jones, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Gordy. Good job, Walter Franklin. Congratulations to you. Well-deserved. I want to tell you about why he won that award. That is the Robert Kalsu Player of the Game Award, and that's a really prestigious award, and we are excited to be able to give those out. The Player of the Game is brought to you by the Robert Kalsu Legacy Group, whose mission is to preserve and promote the incredible and inspiring story of Del City's Robert Kalsu, a true all-American hero. Of course, the stadium is named after him, and there's a huge, beautiful statue right outside the stadium. So we are just such a big fan of his story and appreciate what he did for our country. So, hey, we're gonna go ahead and say goodnight. I was gonna say we're gonna take a break. I've said that a lot tonight, so it was just habit. But we're gonna say goodnight. 53-0, our final score tonight. Del City will move on to 3-0 in district play. They'll look to move into 4-0 at homecoming on Thursday night. I hope you'll join Mike Stewart and Gordy Jones on Thursday, as I'll be out of town for that ball game right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Celebrating 10 years. We are the Oklahoma Sports